letting him lead you. It doesn't matter how you feel.
Saying he's led by God, but you feel like God is not telling y'all that. Do you still follow him?
You said something interesting, Ish. You just said like men don't think the way that women do. So it almost sounds like you don't fully trust their expertise. So how could you successfully be led by?
So the majority of men don't have kids. Y'all are picking wrong. Y'all are literally picking the minority.
Every man that's on this panel, y'all have more kids than all of us women.
51% of black men are single and childless.
Excuses for the statistics. The statistics don't go well in your favor. So you say things like, okay, are they shooting blanks? Or they
because men, I don't feel like men are overall passive aggressive. The majority of men. Do you think that silence is that passive aggressive? Because we will do that.
Yeah, because there's niggas that'll use that as a way to trigger a woman. Like, because a lot of time a woman will tell you, like, when you're silent, it makes me feel like I'm ignored. So a nigga will do that intentionally.
Yeah, no, I'm just because I didn't agree with the passive aggressive part until Mary said that. I'm like, okay, I can see men and be like, you know what? I ain't saying nothing else. Will unsubscribing from the Democratic Party help fix Black America?
Let's just unsubscribe. No, you got to know why.
I don't think so.
That's the only thing that get black people together. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Wow.
Like that.
What I think will fix is if black people truly understood politics.
For a guy, because listen, it's so many different reasons for a man to want to hang out with his friends.
Adrian, I'm not gonna let that slide. I heard you. Why do you think that it's older single women who share that opinion?
Sometimes that's the case. There has to be balance.
Explain what White History Month is.
It's honoring the achievements of the greatest ethnic group in human history.
Wow.
I think all of that shit deserves a put him in the bathroom.
Would you rather have a whore of a daughter or a gay son?
Let's see here.
Bruh.
Because if she's a hoe, that ain't my problem. Hell, she just be a hoe. Shit.
That's a whore. Definitely. Like,
yeah, is going to college a waste of time?
Absolutely.
I wouldn't think for biology.
And can I just piggyback on that?
Read this for me, Q.
Okay, $5 super chat from Omega Green. Depends. Go for STEM, medical or law. However, if you go for BS degrees like communications, is that supposed to be policies? Or
poli-sci, political science.
Poli-sci, okay. Yeah. Or criminal justice, it's wasted time.
Final thought.
When you take a man's time, it's like taking his money. When you take a man's money, it's like taking his time. Simply put, we want something for it. If you're not interested, don't go out. Sis, hit me up. Let's clear your coochie balance.
Do women, should they still be covered by men? Do women need to understand what it takes for men to feel like they should be covered by men?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, women don't value men anymore, and it's evident.
For women to admit that they're not equal to their men, women have to come to that conclusion that you are not equal to your man. Are you for spanking? Let's go around the room, yes or no. Q, you for spanking?
Absolutely.
Age.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so big kids don't get spankings?
You gotta fight them niggas.
There's no difference between divorced women and single mothers. The man will, in both circumstances, suffer comparably with no benefit to himself. The benefits don't outweigh the cost.
But it's still better to go with someone who hasn't gone through that. It's still better to not choose them.
Have men been getting over on household duties all this time?
Listen, but I don't touch a trash bag to save my life.
So let me ask you, could you and your wife switch roles in what you do versus what for that person hold y'all back or let y'all go?
Physically, can't nobody hold me back.
Ain't no such thing as a fair fight. But Ish, what can't be fleeting?
takes to round the mic right upon the shoe. Seeking a place where young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right upon the shoe. Seeking a place where young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right upon the shoe. Watch what you say, I'm shit mouth, cause 50 shots still, you turn the gun down. I'm Mr. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Shoot, seeking a place with young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right upon the shoot. Seeking a place with young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right upon the shoot. Seeking a place with young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right upon the shoot. Watch what you say, I'm shit mouth, cause 50 shots still, you turn the gun out. I'm Mr. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Shoot, seeking a place with young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right upon the shoot. Seeking a place with young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right upon the shoot. Seeking a place with young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right upon the shoot. Watch what you say, I'm shit mouth, cause 50 shots still, you turn the gun out. I'm Mr. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Shoot, seeking a place with young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right upon the shoot. Seeking a place with young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right upon the shoot. Seeking a place with young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right upon the shoot. Watch what you say, I'm shit mouth, cause 50 shots still, you turn the gun down. I'm Mr. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling.
Yo, check. Can you hear me? Check. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Check.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't think I'm coming through my thing though. Yo, put a one in the chat if you can hear me well. Or I sound kind of distant. Like, share, subscribe, tell it. Yeah. Test, check. Good. Check. Like, subscribe to a friend, tell a friend, hit the like button right now if you can. That help. Channel.
Kind of seem like you muffled your mouth.
I'm muffled.
Yeah, talk again.
Check. Mic check.
Yeah, that was good. The last thing you said, maybe it was too close to the mic.
Okay. Mic check. I'm good now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. What's good? What's poppin'?
Life, man. Every day, new shit.
Huh?
I said life, man. Every day, some new shit.
Yeah. What happened though? You all right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be all right.
Hanging in there. You did your hair and all that. You did it, or you had somebody do it?
I just did my hair in 2 minutes. Period.
Why? What you mean? That's fast or slow? What does that mean?
Yeah.
It take a long time to do hair?
You see, I got my ponytail.
Mm-hmm. You got gray hair too. Okay.
That's wisdom, baby.
Oh no, you just got one.
Huh?
You only got one though.
I got a whole patch. It's just hid underneath it.
Or you hit it on purpose?
No, it's just the way the style is today. I don't be hiding my gray. Got
What's
my wisdom, baby.
What's those bangs?
I just felt like I didn't want it to be straight back, so I was like, I'm gonna do this. Me and James came up, but I was telling James about this last night. So, I had to do
about what?
What I was gonna do with my hair.
Why you was telling James that?
That's my man. Duh. Are you a hater?
I don't know. He sat through that. You know what I mean? But it's so good. Yeah. I can dig it. Mr. Williams was popping. E-Dub in the building. All Minaj was goody. My, good to see you. D Majesty in the building. Rock Solid was popping.
Wow.
Like, share, subscribe, man. Salute to the Nightbot in the building. Behaving. E-Dub, appreciate you.
What up, buzzing, bird, flip a dozen. Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was.
Salute to my brother E-Dub in the building who gifted one. This might be risky membership, man. God bless. Whoever got blessed with it, please maintain it. Sugar Bum was popping. Quincy in the building. Kurt in the building. Daily was good. Homeboy Shalom Ak was popping. Ezekiel Benz Rael was popping. Ak, good to see you. Like, share, subscribe, man. Salute to Zeke, of course.
What up, buzzing, bird, flip a dozen.
Uh-huh.
Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was.
Salute to Ezekiel Ben Israel in the building who gifted one membership. Whoever got blessed with it, please maintain
it. And say thank you.
And say thank you. So we can know who got it too. It'd be crazy. Like when friends giving the bulk ones, you have to say something or join in order to get it. So it'd be kind of funny. Yeah, what's popping? Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. We got 100 people in the building. Let me make sure. Let me check the likes real quick. Tommy was goody. No Country was goody. Robert was popping. Sean was good. William Graves in the building. TNBN, I see you. Rashard L was shaking. Impress in the building, putting in work as always. I like it. Aaron Shalom was popping. Like, share, subscribe, and make sure y'all tell a friend. Strada. Strada was goody. SBS podcast in the building. Please go like, share, and subscribe. I like it. Salute to all the ones. That mean I'm sounding good. Okay. Dr. G was goody. Melly Mel was popping. Leon, we see you. Like, share, subscribe, man. Let me see. Night is what's good, man. I ain't seen you in a month of Sundays. Hope everything. Big Mufasa in the building. Salute. Cali was goody. Miss Jilly, make sure y'all say what's up to Miss Jilly in the chat. Salute. Queen T, we didn't see you yesterday. Okay. Glad you back and all that. Hope everything is everything. I don't think James did her hair. I think he gave recommendations. You feel me?
James is at work, baby. Stop worrying about him.
Jay Wills. Will was popping.
Get a break.
D-Town was good. Peter, I see you. What's popping? Let me see. Reese, what's good, my boy? Hope everything's everything. Good to see you. I don't know. It should be on your thing. I don't know. I don't really look at it too much. You either got to be on a laptop or they said it don't pop up on the iPhone, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah, you got to be on a laptop or Android.
JT, thank you for the love this morning too, man. I really appreciate that repost on the Facebook and all that. Salute. Reaper was goody. Hope all is well, man. Make sure I hit the like button. Daily with the $2 says shit like that. Yeah, I agree, man. I fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Big Draws was popping. I ain't seen you in a minute, man. Hope all is well. You heard? Hit the like button, man. Like, share, subscribe, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit the like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Damn, man.
Perfect. Shit like that.
Men's Mental Health Month. Now, I saw you made a comment yesterday. CC, where you been at, man? Huh? What's popping? Rich, yo, thank you for leaving a comment on the video earlier this morning too, God. Appreciate you. Men's Mental Health Month, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You made a comment. I didn't understand it, so I want to ask. You said something to the effect of child, C-H-I. Yeah, let me go get my ice. Yesterday. Yeah. During the conversation. Now, when you say child like that, what does that mean? Like, nigga, please? Or they bullshitting? They just talking? Why'd you have to run and get the ice? Do you remember the context?
No.
But if you say, child, let me go get my ice. Is that like, these niggas ain't talking about nothing? What does that mean?
I really don't think it had nothing to do with the show. It's just a certain time period that the ice is good. Like in the morning, it's too crunchy. Okay. But then you got the right amount of time where it's soft ice, even though you don't believe that ice can be soft.
Yeah,
it's
slush.
Ice is more soft and crunchy and stuff like that. Let me get up and get my ice because I will sit here all day and then.
Okay. All right. Good. I wanted to ask. So now let me just ask the question. What did you think about the conversation yesterday?
I think it was a good conversation. I think it was productive, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do be feeling like every time we have productive conversations, niggas don't never got nothing to say.
What you mean?
Like, I just feel like anytime we talking about something positive, we don't necessarily get a lot of traction on the panel. People ain't too much opinionated with that. But if it be drama and stuff like that, it'd be quick to hit.
Is it unexpected though? Like,
I feel like the way people be sounding off like they supposed to be so, productive and stuff like that or whatever, I would think that they would be able to be well versed on both conversations.
Oh no, the being well versed definitely isn't there. But yeah, the engagement definitely drops on things that aren't like salacious or argumentative per se, you know, and even sensitive topics for the most part. There's been a few, like when we did a psychopathy show, the engagement was pretty good on that show. We were going through the different dark triads, but also the angling of it was the fact that who's more likely to exude dark triad traits, right? Because it's generally men, right? And so that was almost like a back. You could have a back and forth, like, see, y'all be psychopathic, y'all be narcissistic, y'all be the, you know what I mean? So it was, even then, it was like a way for people to shoot shots if they wanted to, right? I think the mental health, I think people are self-aware enough to know, like, if you're talking about mental health or lack thereof and people struggling, people know at the very least, you can't be too salacious in that conversation, right? So they got enough sense to know, like, you can't be talking a whole bunch of shit when people are talking about mental health or lack thereof. You know, I think most people agree that they want people to be mentally successful, you know? But if people just come to talk shit, that ain't a conversation that you really gonna be doing a whole lot of shit talking in the chat, to where most people in the chat are adding to the conversation on the panel. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll be seen as a straight up outlier, you know? In that instance. So, you know, as we mine through these conversations, well, first and foremost, do you remember any? If you don't, it's fine, because I'm literally just asking right here, right now, you know? Yeah, hold on. Well, that's fair. I think Miss Jilly makes a good point too, because it was a shorter show too, and so generally speaking,
the viewership sometimes I think it's just the panel. So it's like, if you always talking about football, and then we have a show about football, and you don't get on the panel here, it's gonna be like,
how not? Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, because okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So when we're talking about men's mental health, even if you're not trying to share your own personal stories, because everybody don't have to share their own personal stories to have some type of outlook, but I would think that the majority of men would care about men's mental health. So I would have thought that would have been a packed panel.
Yeah, and I think, like, Black Dawn, as an example, was pretty transparent in his super chat. Like, this is a tough topic, you know? So he wanted to be known that he appreciated it, and at the same time, it's tough for him to discuss. You know what I mean? It's because when you try to speak hypothetically, when it's talking about mental health, and if you struggle with things, it's gonna come through. You know what I mean? It's only so much hypothetical you're gonna be able to talk about before you start talking about yourself, whether you like it or not. You know? So I think that's good self-awareness, you know? What do you think the state, and I'm asking you directly, what do you think the state of men's mental health is? You know, based on what you hear. Uncle Rick was popping. Based on what you hear, you know, based on what you see, the conversations, you know? You know what? Let's do this. The conversations on the panel, in the Discord. What do you think the state of men's mental health is from a woman's point of view?
I think it's in shambles.
Shambles?
Even like, yeah, even like out in the earth, I think a lot of men. So we have like the suffering silence men, right? The macho man. So that would be like the you, right? Right. So it's like, some days we can see that you like really tired or you really exhausted, but in your mind you're like, this is man shit, right? This is man shit. I don't need to handle it. You know what I'm saying? I think those are the cases that we have to pay attention to, because you know we have this saying, like, you got to check on the strong ones, right? You gotta really show love to the strong ones, because the strong ones aren't the ones that are going to be willing to ask for help. And that's how we get situations where we're like, oh, well, this guy was so happy, we would have never knew that he was dealing with so and so, you know. Then we have the substance abusers, right? The always high, always drunk, always sad, you know what I'm saying? Always lashing out, and it's just like, it's literally a cry for help.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you think about this? Just as an interjection.
What does that mean? Like, you saying, like, that's what I'm saying. So you got situations like that, right? Where a man is crying out for help, or a man is asking for help, or a man is trying to come to where
We gotta fix the mic situation. Remind me after the show. We gotta get headphones or something. But go ahead.
No, I'm saying, like, we have the situations like that, right? We had a situation like that in Discord yesterday. But the whole process of, okay, a man chooses not to suffer in silence, chooses to come somewhere, and it's more male centric here, right? Because it's male dominated, and come and share their grievances or different things that they're going through so they can try to feel like it's a safe place to be. And then they'll be either, men can make comments like, oh, that's some weak shit, the person is weak shit, or da da da.
Damn, what you saying is valuable, but your mic is. Are you holding your phone or your iPad?
Yeah, I'm holding it, but even if I put it down, I don't think.
It's like underwater sound. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like muffled. You know?
It's been like that since the beginning, or is it?
No, it's been intermittent. But right then, when you was really saying that, responding, it was really muffled. Now it sounds pretty good.
Okay. I said I'm gonna keep my hands on the sides, but so that's what I was saying. I'm like, when we take the situations to where, because it was a man that said something yesterday, and then that comment right there, right? So we're either gonna say, well, a man is gonna be like, oh, it's weak for men to be depressed or men to be complaining. That's da da da, right? So that would encourage somebody to suffer in silence. That would encourage somebody to be going through stuff and not being able to talk about it. And then it's like, they just want to be coddled, but sometimes they need to be coddled. So what? So what if a nigga really need a hug? So what if a nigga really needs some help? So what if somebody really needs some understanding? Because then when it gets to the point where it's bad and they do something to themselves or they crash out in a way, then it's like, now we got so much sympathy. So why do we always have to wait till it gets extremely bad to care? Because then it doesn't seem like we really care.
Yeah. No, 100%. You know what I liken it to as well? What Biggie was kind of saying, you ain't nobody till somebody kill you. You know? Now everybody important. Now everybody legendary. You know? Now you popular. Now people care. Right? And so I'm kind of just using that terminology and then looking at the suicide and people, you know, going crazy, so to speak, and shit like that, right? And that's when people finally act like they want to give a damn, you know, which is generally unfortunate, right? And we have the terminology like, hey, make sure you give them their flowers when they here, because we know people only get flowers. Most people only get flowers when they die.
And when you give flowers when people are here, it's glazing.
Yeah, what is glazing? I've been seeing that shit.
So it's like, you ever seen a glazed donut?
Yeah.
So that's what, but in like in a sexual term, there's a part of like sex that's glazing type. So they're kind of like trying to say you're gay.
Okay.
Are you doing too much? Like you slobbing or creaming all over a nigga, basically.
I see. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, I seen it where somebody be showing somebody love and they'll be like, oh, you glazing or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I could see that.
So it's like, it's just like saying you're a D-rider.
Okay.
But glazing is the new way to say D-rider.
Okay. All right. Don't say that to me then, please. Yeah, I be seeing like Joel said something interesting, right? And we're gonna get into the topic, right? But I'm just kind of recapping. He's like, people don't care about people's feelings, right? So I don't know if I'm kind of thinking out loud. So take this walk with me. I don't know if I care about people's feelings as much, but I understand like setting and circumstances. You know,
at work, go by. No.
So salute to the kids. So it's like setting, understanding, you know, influence, the impact of words, you know. But I don't know if I like, oh, you sad? You know what I'm saying? Not like that. But I will ask, what happened? Why are you sad? Right? How can we help you? Do you need assistance? Let me know. Right? And I understand that you got to be empathetic in that way, but I ain't gonna be like, oh, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I guess sometimes people need sympathy.
Yeah,
and I think
not really.
Sometimes like macho men, y'all are like very problem solving. and women want to sit in their feelings. They want to sit in the emotion and process it.
But I'm talking about man to man. I'm talking about man to man, though. You know, because one thing that we were trying to uncover was, what's the biggest burden? Are women the biggest burden, like in terms of men and men's mental aptitude? Or is it other men that kind of push down, punch down, put pressure on? Like, who are we competing with? Right? Because essentially, if men say we don't compete with women, right? You heard that before? Women ain't competition to us. If that be true, right, then the competition is other men. And then so what? Like, what's the manifestation? Like, you're not good enough because of why? Or you're not as good as him because of how? And is that what
standards, the standards that men are setting?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And I think, though, it's better like that. That like men setting standards that they compete against each other, as opposed to the women setting the standard and then trying to live up to standards that the women are setting when they don't even have to live life in the same way. What you think?
No, definitely, because it even, you know, the life has double standards. So the men are going to have to live up for the men. And then a lot of times when you hear the complaining, it's typically coming from women. Like, y'all should do better as friends. Y'all should do better at supporting each other. This is because this is what we do. But men don't internalize it that way because y'all feel like we're not going to make him weak. We're not going to go over there and hold his hands and braid his hair. You know what I'm saying? Because his feelings is hurt. But if he in a jam and we could get him out the jam, then we get him out the jam. That's when it's time to call us, right? What women are saying is men still have those bottled up emotions, right? So like if your friend is in a jam, you'll be more likely to go over there and help him with the situation, right?
Yeah.
But if he's sick, you ain't going over there and nurse that nigga. Like nigga, you gonna go over there and put the blanket on him and change the towel out, pat his head.
Yeah, I tried that one time.
And you was trying to call people and tell them to use some Uber Eats after your shoulder surgery.
They're not gonna do that, but yo, but the same men though. To your point, like if it was like if I had beef or something like that, you know, like in a heartbeat, you know.
Yeah.
But they'll
knock it out for you. No questions asked.
Yeah, no questions asked. Like none.
They not about to put your socks on because you arm broke.
Yo, real shit. I literally needed help with my socks. I mean, I went to DC like 2 weeks after the DJ, and I needed. My man was like, "Yo, son, I'm not doing it, bro. I'm struggling to put my, just because I'm trying to put my shirt on." And they like, "Nah, nigga, we'll help you carry the speakers, though." You know what I'm saying?
Niggas might not even pick you up if you fall. They gonna laugh at you and shit.
Yeah, I just wonder, is it problematic or what? You know? And I wonder what makes a man mental health fall into a deficit. Like, let's say you aren't the tip of the top, the cream of the crop, right? You don't got the access levels you want. You don't have the jobs you need with it. Is acceptance? Do you think acceptance can give somebody solace? So like if I accept, yo, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not gonna be that, but I'm good where I'm at. Like, shouldn't that be? Maybe that's the issue. People don't want to accept the facts, and they fall into a downtrodden state.
I think that acceptance is great, but awareness, it has to be awareness first, right? Which is why I always try to get people to take the personality test, right? And it'd be like having them spot on, because you got to build your awareness before you even get to the point of acceptance, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody's not going to be the anomaly, and that's okay. You know, yeah. I think James says that all the time. James is like, I got a good job. I'm gonna have a good earning potential, but the majority of Americans make $50,000 a year. And if it was that simple and that easy for niggas to get up and make $100K tomorrow, everybody would be making $100K. $100K would be the average thing.
Yeah.
Right? The way that people talk about it, so it's like when you start to accept that, okay, being normal is okay. And it's like we get to look on social media and we get to look at all these anomalies who are inspiring us to try to be the anomaly when we can just come to a level of acceptance that I'm doing the best that I can. I may not ever have a Beyonce body. You see what I'm saying? A body like Tiana Taylor, but I could be in the best shape of my life. I may not be rich as Jeff Bezos, but I can be financially stable, financially responsible. I can make good investments. I can do better with my personal finances. And I can do things to self-improve, but I don't need to be the 1% to just say I finally made it.
Yeah, and I want to make sure it's clear, right? There's a baseline for good. Would you agree? Like when we just look at people operating in the earth, maybe let's say like health, right? There's a baseline for good though, right? I just don't want people to do this, Sherelle. That's good for me. You see, that part gives me a little bit of cause for pause, right? So I'm just saying like for me, right? I know that I'm not my body mass, like just how I'm set up, I'm not going to get to 160 pounds, right? Which are 175 pounds, I think, which is the BMI scale, right? But there's parameters that I can hit based on a particular body type that may put me in good shape status. So body fat percentage, you know, cardiovascular fitness, that I can say, okay, I can achieve these goals. Now I'm good. You know, it can't just be better than what it was before, because that don't make it good. It just make it better than worse. You see, make it better than bad. So I just want to make sure people still strive to a standard that is good, right? Within reason. It can't just be, oh, I'm good because I like being 500 pounds. Nobody want to be 500.
No, definitely. But that's what I'm saying. So you shouldn't be looking like, oh, I'm gonna go by the BMI chart where you know your build, but you know I can run, I can jump rope, I can, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm athletic, I'm in shape. If I gotta chase my kids, even though Rock gave you a run for your money the other day, Hamp. Just saying, I didn't think he was gonna catch it.
Where was Rock? I had to start running because she was going next to the street.
I'm like, oh my God, Hamp.
She's like, going to the street.
She's taking off. I'm like, Hamp, you barely caught her.
And Rock slow as hell. But yeah, man, that's true. Like, you know, so I just want to make sure people push themselves. And then when you get into that average range where it's acceptable, you know, like your doctors say, okay, you good, you know, like it had to have some substance to it. And then you're like, all right, cool. I'm not going to be, you know, I ain't going to look like The Rock. You know, but based on where I am in life, based on what my doctor says, okay, I'll be good with these ranges. I get there. That's an accomplishment, you know, 100%, because self-esteem is always in limbo because people forget it's called self-esteem, not we esteem. But it seems like we esteem for most of us, you know.
But even at the best shape of him, you're still not going to be the Wayne The Rock Johnson. So that's what I'm saying. Just don't be trying to set your goal at another person. I think a lot of times, like, even like with the girls who get surgery, right? The surgery girls, and I'm not a hitter, so shout out to the surgery girls, the ones that look good.
Yeah.
But they go into the doctor's office with a picture of somebody else. And they're telling them, like, make me look like her.
Yeah. Now this is where, okay, I don't think we are going to like divulge necessarily from each other. And I'm saying that's it because it might happen. I'm okay with so if somebody, so there's weight classes, right? So within the weight class, there's things that people do well. And if somebody in that weight class, you catch my drift, in that lane, right, just for outside of sports, is right here, I should try to get there within reason in my lane though. You see what I'm saying? So it's okay if I see a brother in my lane doing great. I'm like, damn, how can I catch up? You know what I'm saying? But not on now The Rock over here. Now I'm sad because I can't get to that, you know? But within my lane, I should be able to strive.
Definitely.
You know? No, that's good. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Salute to AC, been a member for 13 months. I ain't see you yesterday, AC. Hope everything's everything. You heard? Tradesman, what up? CJ, what up? Shiesty, what up? I think I missed a few. Marcus, what up? Davey was popping. I got Sean. Smitty was good, my boy. Hope everything's everything. Yo, so the peace thing, man. Yo, it's like she's supposed to bring me peace. She's supposed to bring me solace. You know, it should be a safe space. When we talking about women, Sherelle, based on the conversations, it couldn't be further from the truth.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
Yeah. So whenever we talking about their interaction with women, all the way up from just trying to holler to get her number, all the way up to wives, it's such a struggle with maintaining a modus operandi that gives you solace and peace, right? And I'm not saying all, but overwhelmingly, when you hear men talk about their interactions with women, is very trying. You know, he's always expected to do more. You know, be great, earn the right to lead. You know, earn her submission, and it's just constant. What's happening is never good enough. You know, what you do in the house is rivaled or not appreciated enough because she doing just as much. Oh, it doesn't matter if you to protect her because we have police. You good? You good? Okay. Because we have police and fire, so they protect you too. You ain't a protector no more. Right? Y'all always talk about somebody breaking in the house. When does that ever happen? Right? You hear all these things, you know.
Be like, I got a Ring camera, I got ADT. I live in a nice neighborhood. The police gonna show up in 2 minutes. That's why I got this 6-figure job. So I can live in this building. I live in an apartment building. I got concierge. Niggas bring my groceries upstairs and valet my trash. Nobody breaking in here.
Yep. I can earn as much as you, right? I should be saying as much as you, right? You being a man don't mean nothing. And I'm being hyperbolic, right? But it's just like, if this is generally the sentiment, now I'm saying what we hear, you feel me? When you hear this stuff, you can speak for you and then you can speak for all women in the whole wide world. Do you hear it as, oh, he just complaining. Oh, woe is me. Oh, y'all act like y'all this, that, and the third. Like, what's happening as we lean in this in Men's Mental Health Month?
I think that the circumstances of how comfortable the world is built now, men are less appreciated. And it's seeming like the world is so much like borderline gonna hate men. So it's more leaning into you're not needed to we just hate you. I feel like that's where it's going. I do feel like men get a short end of the stick. Don't get me wrong. I know that there's a pot of men with the tropes. You know what I'm saying? And media does its job or whatever. But just the general respect of feeling like we don't need men. And it's like, how do you drive every day on the bridge and watch niggas build bridges and think that we don't need men? Because you never see women building bridges. Or like the power grid. Or like the plumbing. Or like the water systems. Or like
This what it is though, Sherelle. Oh, y'all want to lay on the laurels of the men who work on the oil tank. Oh, but you don't work in the oil tank. You don't work in a coal mine. You don't do plumbing. You don't. So it's like y'all want to take the credit for what a few men did, right? So even when you say men do these jobs, right? Infrastructure, speaking, it's always like, no, it's them, not you. So it's just like when we start talking about physicality, it's like men can't speak on what they haven't done, essentially. Those men did it, not you.
Yeah. So, and that's what we're saying, like, we're going to respect those men. I think women are understanding, like, yeah, we want the men who are being productive in the world, but the men who are not being productive and then complaining at the same time, shut the fuck up.
We hear that, right?
You can't build shit. You ain't never built shit. Matter of fact, you're destroying shit. And you feel like you should have the most to say.
Well, so here's the thing that's interesting, right?
Right.
Isha, let me see if I can get Isha. She might be free, but she was saying like she rather have a male boss first, but then secondarily she works in the social work field, right? The men that work in the same field, same position as her, you know what they do? Get the packages from the front door. Put the water cooler thing on the water cooler, because you know if they leave the two full one, the jugs, right? When in that, because you know in that field is child and family services, people be acting out and all that, you know. They call the men who are social workers just like them to help de-escalate situations or mitigate the physical risks that apply. My buddy, he's a male teacher. He's a principal now, but you know, there's not that many of them. The two boys fight him. And, you know, they say, hey, call Mr. Blank so he can help diffuse this. Right? And I don't know if that gets glossed over. There was a time when at Capital One, somebody had to be escorted out, you know, and my manager at the time had to, like, she was doing the firing essentially. You know what she say? Hampton, can you come with me? Right? You see? And I'm just bringing this up, right? And if it's dismissed, so be it. Cool. You know, but we'll be doing the same roles, but the expectation, oh, we had to carry monitors across the desk. Hampton, can you help do, you know, just stuff, right? Is this even taken for granted? Is it considered, or is it nominal?
Given. It's such a given. So like, let's say we see somebody who like 6'3", 250 pounds, and they work at the grocery store bagging groceries. What's the most common thing somebody gonna say about you?
Why isn't he a lawyer?
For nothing.
Yeah.
You're big for nothing. Because if you're big, go move some. That's the given, right? Like, and then once stuff becomes a given, it loses people lose the appreciation for it, because it becomes just intrinsically. No matter how I talk to men should respect women. Intrinsically, if I put my hands on a man, he better not hit me back, because men should never hit women. No matter what I do, men should accept it, because you a man. No matter what you go through, get over that shit. You're a man.
Yeah. And because I know you being facetious on purpose, right? Because that's the reply that we get. What's your take on that, right? Because I'm sure we've been guilty, right? You know, of this. Mm-hmm. But what does that do to someone's psyche if we do the same job, but I got a few more tasks because I have the brawn, right? But we still do the same brain job, you know? I have physical prowess. So now people look down upon me if I'm not doing the thing they think I should be doing. Mm-hmm. You know, one guy who sticks out in my head, is what's his name? Ali. So you've seen Bad Boys, right? And he's actually played in the NBA. John Sally, I think.
John Sally.
Yeah, remember he's the computer guy, you know? And when he first stand up, he 7 inches taller than Martin. But that role that he's playing as the nerdy geek, they have him because it doesn't make sense when you register, because he's so tall and shit.
Yeah.
And we look like, what you doing here doing this? Like, God forbid you ain't playing basketball. Now, obviously, he played basketball, but
yeah, because when you're tall, you better be playing basketball or some type of sport, or they like you married a woman, like specifically. You know how like the bald man said he married his wife specifically to create athletic sons.
Yeah, the white
right.
guy.
And they're like, you did all of this work to create an athletic son, and he wants to be a cheerleader. And the man is like losing his shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's certain expectations that come with that. Like you already said, Chuck gonna get CTE.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You a linebacker, boy.
Yeah, fine.
Get on that gridiron.
It's lit. But it just And it was something you said I wanted to reply to. But I'm just wondering about mental tolls, you know? Like even like let's make it a little bit more tangible. We playing ball, right? Now James nice, lady dies, husband. James could ball. UT could ball, you know? But you know who had the most expectation?
Sway. Mr. Fantastic.
Without a doubt. You know? Cause we like, yo. But then he had the mouthpiece. Niggas like, mouthpiece. You know what I'm saying? Like I asked to protect his teeth. And it made sense. But he big as hell. Pause. So it's like you gotta, what you need protection for, right? Just mentally, you know? And then I'm like, cause my brother like 5'11", and he pretty stout, you know? And I'm like, yo, just bang him, pause, you know? Just foul that nigga.
Bruh, when I was like, my cousins are big, right? They're giants, right? Like they're like all 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 2 something. And we used to go to the park and play they used to go to the park and play basketball. And like the skinnier dudes will always foul them. And then like when they be like, man, foul, like you're not getting no foul, you big as hell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You big as hell.
Real shit. Hurt. But this the thing though, right?
Miss Fantastic.
But here's the thing, right? Yeah, no foul. You call foul, niggas think it's weird. So my team is fouling for sure, 100%, right? And Miss Fantastic, a better basketball player, just overall, you know. But we expected him to play through all the fouls, sometimes make all these shots. You know, he getting fouled the whole time. That's literally the instruction I gave my brother. Push him out the paint, you know, elbow in his back, knee, you know, just all of it. And we expect him to be Superman through that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's more of a fun example, but I just think about the stressors. And then it literally says, help me in peace. And when we come home or when we at these jobs, we got these expectations heaped on us from society, from our woman, and nothing's ever good enough. And she literally supposed to be to help me in the peace. It's like, do y'all know that? And if so, why don't y'all make an intentional effort to do it?
I think it's just the process of not being able to see outside of yourself. Right?
What you mean?
Like, I think a lot of times we're more just self-centered. And then the expectation of you, man.
So now remember, Sherelle, you represent all the women in the whole wide world. Why are y'all self-centered?
Because it's always been about us. That's how we raised.
But it ain't working though. And niggas is killing themselves way more. Niggas is in the dumps way more. Niggas is homeless way more. Mm-hmm. Why? Why y'all self-centered?
Feel like they're the prize. And I'm saying they're feeling like I'm the prize because it's less likely for a man who have a wife to commit it.
Say that last part again.
So in the stats, it's less likely for a man who's married to commit the side.
That can make us. You said make a side?
Commit the side.
Commit the side. What you mean?
Just commit the side. Suicide. Commit the side.
Married men do?
They do it less.
Oh.
Single, never married.
You sure?
Divorced. Yeah, go look it up.
Okay, go ahead.
The married men are less likely to do it. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Right? And then you have stats saying like married men live longer. So that translates to women, a man with a woman has a better chance at this survival. So I'm the prize.
Hold on. I stopped paying. I want to see. What's the question?
who's more likely to commit suicide, married men or single men?
Let me see. Okay. So yeah, I think it goes for men and women. Damn. So what were you saying based on that?
So women are taking it as they're the prize. So when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. So life should be about doing what you need to do for this woman, not necessarily what she do for you, because she feeling like everything that she do, cooking, cleaning, having kids, she do all that for you.
Oh, okay. What it is this. So the man's married, right? The likelihood of kids is higher, right? And then you have duty and responsibility, which is why he not gonna off himself, because there's too many people depending on him. You think women think it's because they making them happy?
No, I think the same kind of like show we just did the show, right? Without women, men have no utility. If you didn't have a wife or a family to work for, you're probably just off yourself. And that's what the stats. So when you don't have a woman, you don't have anything to work for, you don't have that, those are the men. And it's not saying that every man, because they go, I don't got a wife and kids and I don't even think. What I'm saying is it's higher in those men who have no women, or you know what I'm saying?
So you think,
then it gets high. It's high in divorced men. So men who lose their families also delete themselves.
I wonder if it's the women, or is it the children, or is it? I think so. Here's what I think.
I think it's the duty.
I think it's the failure. I think the failure is the burden to bear, not losing that woman, especially if she was bringing you strife. I think men see a level of relief there, but the failure and things of that nature, because they didn't live up to the duties and expectations, I think that's what will overwhelm a man.
Oh, I think the investing of everything, because men are like investing everything into this marriage, and then it's like this reality that I just lost everything, like nothing.
Yeah, and I think that's the part. Yeah, and I think what
duty for as the inspiration of having something, right? So like like we have older parents, because all our parents should be boomers, right? But what do we say about old men? Like once they retire, they pass away. So men are typically trying to be 90 years old, cutting grass and, doing something, because they feel like if I sit around and I do nothing, I'm going to wither away.
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. It's all of that. I think the hurtful part of it is when you think about getting the dog and the kids and the white picket fence, you're not expecting to have an enemy in your own house. You're not expecting to have opposition in your own house. You're not expecting to have grief being caused in your own house. And I think that can overwhelm a man tremendously, right? And this is what we're talking about. We're talking about the state of mental health as it pertains to men, seeing as it's Men's Mental Health Month. And when we always had these conversations, it's like me and Arnold was talking about it, and I was disagreeing with him, because I'm like, you asking for the minimum. It's easy to fake one thing. It's hard to fake 6 things. So if you ask and we saying all we want is cooperation, right? You heard that before. All niggas is asking for is cooperation, but they can't even get that. What happens to his psyche? I was just simply saying, if you only ask for cooperation, she could fake that till she make it. But if you ask for, cooperation, the abundance of sex, trust, loyalty, transparency, and it's hard to just fake all. You see what I'm saying? That's a different conversation, though. But it's just like niggas is so downtrodden because we talking about peace, to where we saying all we want is cooperation. I'm just like, God damn. But I don't disagree with them.
We so hungry, just feed us scraps.
Yeah, just feed us slop. Put everything that's edible in a stew, stir it up, and niggas eat that. You know?
And what do you think like this? So like, if I can feed you crumbs for everything you got, what have you just told me the power dynamic is?
Say that last part again. My bad. My guy just
If I
texted me.
can feed you scraps for everything that you have, what have you just told me about the power dynamic?
I'm not in power, right?
Just smile at us, black woman. These go. Now they about to go out their way to mug you.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. These niggas bother me. Hold on. Hold on. The 20. Sorry. So there's a shift in the power dynamic. If I open up with all you got to do is do X. A smile would be more than enough. I guess I just wonder why, and this is where I'm pushing on to be his piece. Why aren't scraps a given? Why isn't a smile a given? Why isn't a pleasant disposition a given? Why isn't a peaceful disposition from a woman a given? Why do we have to weed through all these foreigners to get to a peaceful one? Why do women take Why do women take the time to? I'm telling you crazy because I don't belong to you, right? For all intents and purposes, right? They say I'm not in a relationship. You know, I'm gonna talk to you crazy because we on the internet.
You breaking up or am I breaking up?
I don't know. Check. Am I breaking up?
Is it HAMP or is it me?
455 was goody. Keeps it 100 was goody. Y'all hear me well?
It was HAMP. Empress said it was you a little, but you good now.
Okay, my bad. Damn, I was kind of going on the road, but it just like, cause I don't know. I just see it's just so much strife, right? And people alleging they could turn it on and off, but you can't, right? The nigga that you deal with is gonna get a semblance of what you bring to the table on the internet in regular conversations, etc. It just gonna happen, right? And it's just me and you like talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I could get really angry, you know what I'm saying? And it could turn up, you know, it could turn up for sure, right? So I would be a straight up liar to say, like, in my relationships with my wife in the marriage, I never gotten angry, right? Because that was my modus operandi. Like, I have pretty good control, you know. I usually don't overreact even up here, right? But I can get angry, of course, because that's a part of me, you know. And then people acting like they not gonna show, like they can compartmentalize this from the person they deal with. It's bullshit. Mm-hmm. And what I fear is when we see the women, and I'm casting a blanket just so we can have the conversation. Acting in a particular way, there's no way that the men they deal with is not going to deal with that overwhelmingly. You know?
I think if it is women who can, I'm not saying it's impossible for a woman to do it, but it would be a nominal number of women who can code switch and handle their emotions in that way. I would say it's nominal. Nominal means small, right?
Yeah. So you think nominal number of women can actually compartmentalize? Yeah, I agree. And I mean,
right? Because it's same thing with your parents, right? Like your dad can make you angry, right?
Uh-huh.
But are you willing to go toe to toe with your dad like you are with a man on the street? Or do you have that reverence for that man in the moment that you're feeling like, that's my pops though?
Yeah, yo, that's the word right there, really, that I didn't use. The reverence. I revere my father. So I'm going to taper, right? Or the love I got from my brothers. Like one time, my brother and I got in like a fight for all intents and purposes, but I couldn't punch him. You know what I'm saying? Like I grab him, you know, we like wrestling around, and I wanted to punch him, but I couldn't punch him. You see? You know? Or like if one of my friends and I, like we get into it, like once somebody kind of go down, niggas ain't stomping each other out. You know what I'm saying? And this, I think that's what's in question. The reverence for the men is gone. I don't have to show deference, right? Because deference is usually men show deference, right, to women. But the other way around, in terms of being peaceful, will make a whole lot of sense. But I think that, yeah, the reverence is gone. What you think?
Yeah. Just the overall reverence for men, this value and this respect, like, is gone.
Yeah.
You know, I think we lost it for our elders too. Like, remember how we used to have to respect adults no matter what? We always spoke to them. You never talk back to them. These days, we don't care about how old you is. It's not a lot of people that say, like, when the last time you really seen kids in the inner city say yes ma'am, no ma'am for everything?
I mean, it's to be fair to what you saying, like it's very rare. Obviously, you know, down here, you lived here before, so they're a little bit more respectful in terms of verbiage, at least. But up north, nah, that shit is gone, if it ever existed.
Yeah. So yeah, the references, lack thereof. It gets to the point where, like, sometimes when I'm watching like content creators, female content creators who are in charge of leading other females, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's male hatred.
Okay.
Right? So like sprinkle. You know who that is.
A little bit, I think.
Right? So it's like use them for their money. You expect a man to love you, you don't. They're never gonna love you. They're gonna find a way to use you, so find a way to use them. But you're coaching millions of women. You're getting millions of views. You're getting millions of likes. See what I'm saying? And that's what people are internal. And there's so many messages just like that. And anybody who speaks against it is male worshiping, pick me.
Yeah. No, that that makes sense. Where did the reverence from women to men go, if it ever existed? Why is it in such short supply? Because she don't revere you, she not gonna bring you peace.
No, when it's, you know what I'm saying, like it's just a gender war. It's just we in it. I know people keep thinking like, oh, we's over, the women lost. No, they didn't. This is still fighting. And it's like, who they're destroying? The men? No, they're going to destroy the children, which eventually destroys the world. How are you going to win when they're in charge of the future? The majority of these kids with their mamas, they're going to get their ideology from their mamas. What are you talking about? You destroy them. And then what do they have the power to destroy next?
Yeah, everything.
All the minds of all the kids who have to uphold the next generation and the next generation and the next generation.
And that's the thing.
It's like women are in full rebellion.
Full rebellion?
Full rebellion. Full rebellion.
Damn. Yeah. So I think the rebellious nature in men, which if you believe this, the natural imperative that we always talk about, sex and procreation, etc., and men are just saying fuck it. like the MGTOW stuff, right? Is that what it's called? Men going their own way, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yo, what have you seen from women? And you just like, man, the hell with this shit. Like, it's that diabolical, Sherelle. That men are saying, listen, fuck it. I'm just done. I'm checking out. Not even like killing themselves, just out. Just you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get my little, you know what I mean? My little subscription to Pornhub or X videos and call it a day. Work, chill, you know? Like, I'm looking for an honest assessment in that. You know, like men do anything for pussy, right? But they saying, fuck it. Do women assess that? Like, yo, this is what they are perceiving the behavior to be so heinous that we just done dealing altogether.
No, because I feel like MGTOW is probably just as big as 4B.
So right? Small?
Yeah. So with the 4B movement happening, men are not like, oh, women are giving up on us. Like, okay, them bitches. You know what I'm saying? Which they're doing crazy work over there because they're literally about to eradicate themselves. They took it serious. Like, their birth rates are there ain't no birth rate no more. Yeah. Some girls over there in Korea getting it popping. Like, yo, we actually do control how this goes. This little race of ours, it's a wash. We can't figure it out. It's time to give it up.
So is it effective or ineffective?
So it's effective when the women are doing it, right? But you don't need that. You don't need that many men for a matriarchy. They don't care if the majority of men don't want to do it because they'll take your sperm and raise the kid.
Yeah.
They don't feel like you was needed anyway. The infrastructure is built anyway.
Yeah.
They said they have a TikTok going viral now. It was like, what if black women were really meant to be the leaders and men were just supposed to protect us? But we were never supposed to be listening to what they had to say.
That's sick to me. I wonder, technology definitely making it worse. Right? Because all the comparisons you can make with being on social media steals your joy, right? You know, now you got access to what you deem better, more attractive men that you normally wouldn't date. You would just be in your little proximity. You know, sexual liberation, everybody just fucking, and everybody thinks sex is valuable. So if I get a lot of pussy, I'm valuable. If he put dick in her, then she thinks she pretty, she thinks she valuable because he willing to have sex with her. You see?
And then they're thirsty, right? So they're willing to men have this thirstiness. Right? So it's like men hate women, and then I'm about to post a picture of my breast, and I'm about to get 1,000 likes and a bunch of people in my DMs.
Yeah,
and they're gonna send me money for my pictures of my feet.
Yeah,
and like when we live in a society where OnlyFans girls are being able to become millionaires, do you honestly think men have given up on women?
No,
because they're no longer valuing the thing that men have wanted to hold over their head, because they're like, okay, trope, they do control the marriage thing. We can't bully them out of that. But what can we get? Because women are in the we'll take this stage just like men. You know, the same way, like, just smile at us. Women are just like, just pay a bill.
Yeah.
Take me on a nice date.
Yeah. No, that shit is.
Give me a good time and some good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you guys misheard what she said. She didn't say they making millions of dollars on OnlyFans. She said there are women on OnlyFans making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So we know it's a minority of them, you know. But she just saying the point is they virtually making $1 million because men are thirsty. That's the point that she was making. Right.
Like the Catch Me Outside girl, you know, she turned 18, and it's like literally all she had to do was get on OnlyFans, and she became a million. You know how hard people have to work for their money, and all the woman has to do is be attractive and have some clout. Because a lot of girls are not gonna make the money because nobody knows them. But if they have the clout, if they some rapper baby mama, if they some type of it girl, they get an OnlyFans and they can become a millionaire overnight just because they just want to see how they look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, with the understanding
Strip
that
clubs are still popping.
but it's still a nominal number. But
yeah,
the fact that it can happen because men support it and want to see it so badly. Like that girl made $50 million. It's fucking crazy. Like
that's insane.
It's cute as hell. I've been telling him we the prize. Hell no.
Where
Aaron with the
HQ
put
at? I miss her.
HQ been grinding, man. So black women, Aaron said, so black women so hated on that every woman want their men. I understand what he's saying. But it's interesting, and maybe it's just the demographic, right? So even as we talk, generally speaking, the people who I think are women are saying, shut up, it's the men. They crying. Who cares? Y'all are unattractive. Y'all dumb. Okay. I just want to see how people respond when they find a brother in the garage hanging up, where they find a nephew in the basement with a hole in his head that he put there. You know, when people stop functioning, when you think somebody happy and then they kill themselves or they go recluse, or you see like Ben, damn, he played for UConn, then he played for the Bulls. Damn, I forget his name. Ben, well, he played basketball anyway. He was on the street, like they had to go get him, like, you know what I'm saying, like going crazy. Delonte West, Ben Gordon, Delonte West. He used to come, like when I first moved to DC. So we had this place called Run and Shoot, right? And Run and Shoot was 24 hours basketball, and he from down there. So he'll get out, come from the club drunk, smell like liquor, and put 40 on niggas, like, you know what I'm saying? And now he was on the side of the road looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot, right? And I think that what we talking about, I think it's very good that they're showing and saying what they're saying, because it actually exposes a different level of vitriol, right? So if we beefing, we arguing, whatever, you know, but when we're talking about something that's more substantive and the vitriol still there, I think it really exposes the depth or lack thereof of that person.
Yeah, and it's okay. So I'm to the point where a lot of times we want to be victorious, but we don't want to go through the war. And we're in war times. It's just the times that we was born in, right? I'm okay with the exposing it. I'm okay with the dissecting it. I'm okay with going to the root cause, because if we're going to keep trying to lie about what the truth is, then the cancer is going to keep spreading. Let them be honest.
Yeah.
Let them be honest and let them fall. Because sometimes before you build, you gotta destroy some shit. We understand that, right? And we believe in the Most High. We understand that some stuff gotta die for other stuff to live. And we just in that process, and we a part of that. You know what I'm saying? We had ancestors that was in worse conditions than us. This conditions we in. Because I'm telling you now, like, it's heartbreaking seeing, because what y'all didn't talk about yesterday is most black men, the issue is not suicide, is homicide. But we never want to factor in the mental health in that. because we know that we're not innately just, you know what I'm saying, violent like that. But what did Fantastic say the other day when he was like, if it gets to that point, most black men think, I'm not gonna do something to myself. I'm gonna do something to them niggas. I'm gonna do something to somebody else. I'm gonna go outside and do it to somebody else. But all of that's a mental breakdown. All of that's lose your freedom. All of this over drugs, you need to be on every pill. You need to be on all the lean. You need to be on all the drugs all the time. And y'all don't think that's a cry for mental health issues?
And that's the thing. That's a great point. Like, motherfuckers be going through a lot of shit, and I think that it's just disheartening with the lack of trying to understand the conversation. You know, I know a bunch of niggas who don't give a fuck, but they mad at a whole lot of shit. I remember I'm doing mentoring Kelly Miller. It's like Benning Road, Minnesota Avenue, like Shrimp Boat. It's rough over there, right? And we steady mentoring the kids, boys, obviously, right? 100 Black Men of America. So we go in there. So I got one of the boys in like a bear hug, right? Because he act like he want to fight. So my brother, one of the brothers who worked at the school, I said, you got to leave because he'll get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Right? Because he worked at the school. So I got the boy in a bear hug, right? Because he act like he want to fight the other boy. And so he starts saying, nigga, I'm going to do this, that, and the third, right? Because he want to get him. He crying, you know, that type of mad. And he's like, I hate my mom. Out of nowhere, though. Out of nowhere. You see? Because he couldn't get out this bear hug, right? I'm talking to him while he trying to do this, right? You ain't mad at him. That's what I'm saying. You ain't mad at him for real. Because we talking about our lives, our upbringing, you know? And then he just out of nowhere say, I hate my mom, you know? And he kept saying it. Then he broke down and shit, you know? And this is the shit that people don't understand. Them gun-toting niggas that don't give a fuck is because nobody give a fuck about them. And I don't think people understand that, right? And so this ain't a made-up story. This is an actual thing that actually happened. If he said his dad, I would say he hated, but that's not what he said, you know? And it's so much shit boiling in people, you know? But it's interesting.
I just had a family friend, and it's crazy because it's mental health. When a friend of the family deleted himself.
When, like recently?
You know what I'm saying? Recently. Like his funeral was like a couple of days ago. So, then my cousin deleted himself before my sister, the thing with my sister, right? So that's two just within like not even throughout the year. You know what I'm saying? I just dropped one of my friends off at rehab. Saw another friend who need to go. I'm from the New Orleans. So you know what I'm saying? Like I knew a lot of people just from being in my area, just from growing up. And it do hurt. And I get, everybody call it like survivor's remorse. But ain't nobody never cared.
Yeah.
And you can't do nothing but show them love because you definitely can't love a person through their addiction or their afflictions.
Yeah.
Because that's pain that they running away from that they don't want to face.
Yeah.
But what was we, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't given much to make it out. We just, hey, you better try. Mm-hmm. And everybody don't. And it ain't made for everybody to come out. Hunger Games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And I think that, survivor's remorse is real, right? And Mr. Snazzy was popping. And what it is trying to, hopefully we can do a good job of like clarifying how what we are articulating, right? The lack thereof of so much stuff. There's correlation to a lot of the end of which people get to, whether it be 4B, going their own way, suicide, right? Homicide, being downtrodden, low self-esteem. There's so many correlations, right? And it's not even about pointing the finger. It's about this behavior. Does it correlate any way, shape, or form to people doing poorly? If this is something that men yearn for, how can we help get to a better place in it? Right?
Mhm.
The causation is what? You probably go even before they start dealing with women. But as people mature through life, there's a bunch of things that correlate to where they get to and the reasons why. You know what I'm saying? So it's much more substantive. Go ahead, my bad.
And it's about like the dissecting of why is this? So that's a good question when you say, why isn't it a given just a smile, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll tell you like, because it's inviting. You know what I'm saying? But men will dismiss that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're not it's the same way when men say, yo, when I tell you something personally, you throw that shit in my face. When you get mad, you talk about that's why my daddy abandoned us, and that's why my mama never loved me. And women just dismiss it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's something that you're not dealing with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or when a man is saying, I'm committed to this woman, and if she divorces and takes my kids, and I can barely afford to live because she got the house and all of this in the settlement, and my life is turned upside down because of her mood swing. Women are like, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we don't have compassion for stuff that don't go for us. So when a woman tells you that, I'm smiling at a man and being nice to this nigga will follow me for the next 30 minutes. And I'm gonna feel unsafe. So the best thing is to keep the rest in space or bugging it. That ain't happening. No man ain't gonna follow you. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna happen to y'all. Y'all always believe something gonna happen to y'all. And then it's like, you lack understanding for me. You lack compassion for me. I'm lacking understanding for you. I'm lacking compassion for you. Let's have a contest about how we can't give a fuck about each other. And that's what we in the middle of. Who could give less care? When I watch male dating coaches, it's about what less you can do for a woman before you can get it out of her. When I watch female dating coaches, these are the dating coaches. These are the people who are trying to tell you to get together. This is how you get a man without doing little to no effort. This is how you manipulate somebody. This is how you take advantage. And the person who cares the least has the most leverage.
Yeah.
That's the game. So now we in a competition about who could give the least about each other.
Yeah. No, that's no, you're right. And that's the shame of it all. You know what I mean? That's the shame of it all. Like,
there was just a girl.
Well, at this part though, because the smile, this real shit, right? Because when you just say the smiling thing, like even like if I see like a black woman as an example, right, and I speak in a way though, Sherelle, it's very like standoffish though. Like I'm like, hey, how you doing? Right. But I kind of just keep it moving and shit like that. Because you can tell like I ain't trying to talk to them. But also, motherfuckers a smile be misread, shit like that. So I kind of just be like, oh, hey, how you doing? Whatever the case is. Or if they like acknowledge the kids, I don't really do too much talking. They might be like, how old are you? Whatever. Because these interactions, man, they can be perceived in so many ways. And so I can understand that, too friendly. Like I was looking at this thing, it said, the girl was sitting at the bar and this dude was kind of like trying to talk to her. And she ordered an angel shot or something like that. But an angel shot means this is an uncomfortable situation. And it was like an angel shot with something means call the police or some shit. Like little code words. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that shit before. But it's like angel shot or something it was saying, Damn, man, that's interesting, man, for sure.
Yeah, there's a bunch of I'm not gonna say them because that's breaking girl code. But it's like a bunch of different
it's on Instagram,
Yeah. No, I mean like it's just certain things that they teach us. It's not on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? But it's just certain things that you have to redline it just to make sure that you're safe.
Yeah.
I don't think they need to put it on Instagram because then that would make predators know.
Yeah. And I think
they teach us in school and everything. They teach little girls in school and stuff like that, different things. Like we going to the bathroom or we feel safe and stuff like that. They've been teaching us that.
And the world is so crazy, right? Everybody gets the jacket to a degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the assumption about a black woman is going to be, just from what we hear, is that her attitude is less than good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you talk to her, meet her, oh, you're not rowdy and rugged and all that, you know? But it's like we got these jackets that we also put on each other. You know, like niggas is crossing the street for niggas, not just white boys. A bunch of young niggas walking down the street, niggas is crossing the street too. Because we putting jackets on each other like shit.
So many jackets.
You know? So it's just very interesting, man. But the peace thing, Sherelle, it seems so hard to obtain. And I'm just thinking about the mental health of it. What's up, Crimson? Salute. Damn. Hold on, what she said? Oh. See, so even Crimson said. Right? Like, so.
And you know, Crimson ain't got no, you know what I'm saying? She's a good woman, a married woman. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna say that I have any experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, this thing that I'm about to say right now, it barely happens, but I have a cousin who got shot in the face. So it's a thing. And people are scared from other people's stuff. A lot of times we have backhand scarcity. We see it happen to them. And what women teach us is that could have been you. That's how all women feel. Like when there's a threat to one woman in the world, it's a threat to all of us.
No, and when you're talking about somebody being accosted, raped, anything, right? How many times do it need to happen for people to put their guard up? Right. There's women like I was telling my wife, like, as much as possible, we can help it, right? As long as I'm diligent in it. Like, she can't be out here like pumping gas and shit. There was a lady who literally just got tossed in a van. There was two ladies who got stolen from gas stations. They found them both decapitated, you know, not too far from the gas station. It was like an hour from me in Texas. You know, it only need to happen once for you to put your guard up. I remember a while ago, a nigga was trying to catch like a home run ball and fell over. Right? Only one dude, right? They catch plenty of home run balls and nobody don't fall. One dude fell. They had to put these nets up at every stadium. Because how much does it have to happen for people to put their guard up? You know what I'm saying? But just as we kind of harken down on the peace thing, if I just use myself, I'd be having some hard days, right? I got a lot of stuff to do, a lot of responsibilities, you know, things be going awry, whether it's on the jobs or at the house or anything, right? And I'm pretty steadfast, you know, but the disposition of my wife can like exacerbate the frustration or help mitigate it significantly, right? Because I generally understand myself, but I'm not always going to be grounded if things are getting on my nerves. But that person who you've chosen to lock yourself in with can definitely help change a disposition more expeditiously than me doing myself. So I could calm down. I could go do things. I could read. There's things I could do to level myself down as of a tough day, you know? But when you have that person who adds on or takes away and they choose to add on, you'd be surprised how quickly they can help you de-escalate. And I just don't think motherfuckers understand this, but I don't know if they ever had anything of substance. And that's not even a diss. It's just, if you know, you know. But I hope I articulated well enough to where y'all can understand it if you've never been in that situation.
Yeah.
You know?
And I do feel like we have these conversations enough for women to pick up, like, okay, noted. Like, when are you gonna get to a point where, okay, noted, men don't like this. Noted, we're gonna change it. Men don't like that. Noted, we're gonna change it. But I don't think that women feel like inspired to change. Because it's like, what are we changing? We're gonna get the same man. If we're pretty or we're skinny, we get the same man. If we're loud or we're quiet, we get the same man. If we're peaceful and we're not peaceful, we get the same man. So if we're all gonna get the same man, why are we listening to them on who to be and how to be? We're gonna all end up with the same results, the same man. They all lie, they all cheat, they all men. They all don't care about our feelings. They're incapable of love. That's the coach.
That's the coaching,
Coaches,
right?
dating coaches. They don't love you. They never will. They're only trying to use you. See what you can get out of them. Why you would pick me? Because you're gonna get the same man.
Yeah, same result regardless, right? Yeah.
So if your job was like, you could show up on time, I'm gonna get a raise. You could do some extra work in the back. Y'all about to pay me more. How they want to give you want to be a manager? You want to give me more responsibility, more work, but not more pay.
Yeah.
So, not only get the same pay.
Damn, man.
I said show up to work on time because you're supposed to do that anyway. But if I remember, I had a friend. They changed managers, and she couldn't take long breaks no more. She had to show up to work on time, and she quit. Like, so you just not gonna follow? I'll follow the rules somewhere where I'm gonna make more money, but I'm not following the rules where I got away with.
Yeah.
Sorry, my nephew's a lot, but yeah, they ain't got no incentive to change.
Yeah. Interesting, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. I don't know where Mr. Williams went. CJ was popping.
Yeah, my mic is straight. Mr. Williams is back. I don't know if you want to go first. You want to just let me. So, I looked it up. The man self-deletion rates is highest, and I got my notes. I know niggas don't like when niggas have notes, but I got my fucking notes. Suicide rate is highest the first month after divorce. Then it goes to single men, but then it depends on the income level. So lower income level men do it the most, and then it goes up, I guess. So that's the first thing. So and the second thing, so most women aren't men's piece. I think you already mined that out. That's why men have man caves and shit when they do get married. And that's when they the most at peace, is when they in their man caves doing the man thing. Like, when they come out of that man cave, guess what they got to go to? Their woman and their demands. And it's not peaceful. It's a bunch of chaos. So I don't even know where they got this shit from. I guess we're asking the women to be our peace, which they have a hard time doing. I have never seen a woman. I just come into a man's house or a man's domain, and his woman is just so peaceful, just bringing them like, hey, I mean, I had a person that's like catering a little bit, but not just so peaceful to it's like, oh, that's your peace right there, brother. I could see why you call it, like, why we make this saying. I've never seen this, but we say it like it's real or it's true, but it's not. And I'll end it there.
What you think, Mr. Williams? Do you think that CJ's right on that, where they are just not peace? He's saying like they'll cater, but just being his peace, or definitely being an exponential factor to his peace. What do you think? He's saying that shit just don't even exist for real.
It does exist, but CJ's not wrong, because I have been in in a relationship that was like that, where I could just be watching sports. You know, it's my time. You know what I'm doing, and you just want to bogart. You got to talk. Why the hell you didn't talk to me before you tip off or before kickoff? You know, just not satisfied. And I get them on that. And then I've been in situations where I actually can watch sports and be at peace and everything. Like my fiance, we love watching sports. I don't mind watching sports with her. You know, she enjoys spending time with me. I actually like her because she understands us. She's actually my peace. And she understands that it's not going to be easy days or whatever, but she doesn't pile on. She actually frees it up. But CJ is not wrong. A lot of women do that. They want to.
Well, Mr. Williams, one thing you articulated that's actually interesting is she's at peace when you're doing something she like to do. So you mentioned peace in the factor of she like watching sports too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, she's learning more about it.
But see, here's the thing that we need to extract.
Okay.
The instances in which it's not enjoyable, where it's selfless in nature, to where the person who overwhelmingly benefits from what she brings is you and not her.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, I'm making her more of a sports fanatic now. When I say sports, like she got her favorite team is Kentucky. I'm Louisville. She loves the Cowboys. I'm San Fran. You know, things of that nature. Now she's getting more into sports because of me. And so now we go into the live games and things of that nature that she likes she knows what I like. So now I get surprised with, you know, different things like that because she know that makes me happy. Opposed to me, she watches all that snap shit and all that word shit. So that's what makes her happy. So if I sit down with her and watch that, she's happy. But more or less, she knows if I've had a long day and I just want to enjoy sports or anything, she knows when to bother me and when not to. You know, opposed to when I make sure everybody's fine before I do something, and then the relationship prior to this, she just wants to come in and cause an issue while I'm doing some man shit, so to speak. I'm watching this damn football game. Y'all know to leave me alone. Y'all don't need shit right now, but you got to. Well, I want to talk. Well, you should have talked to me before the game started or catch me at halftime. You know, just different things where even if I say I'm outside and I'm listening to music, just
that's the thing though. See, that's the thing though, right? Like we can make it tangible situations, but it's not so much that. Like it's the understanding, right? And in order to add to someone's peace, you gotta be really, really selfless in instances. Right, you got to read the room. The discernment has to be in an all-time high, right? But if the selfless, because me and Relly was talking, right? If the selfless nature overwhelmingly isn't there because she's the prize, quote unquote, right? What's the actual manifestation when you need that solace, right? Where you may need because here's the problem, right, CJ? Is that suffering in silence, right? All this stuff. I don't think it's working well for us. I think it's necessary, right? But in the few times a year where you need to let this shit out, right? Is that shoulder there? Or is it this nigga's whatever the case? You see, that's what I'm trying to understand, right? Because men want to be with women, period. And honestly, I think it's vice versa, you know? But it's hard for us to see when we have the conversations about the general topics. But when we slow it down and we talking about peace and disposition and Men's Mental Health Month, right? We looking for our greatest addition, right? The help meet, and we talking about peace.
Yeah.
Do they have that selfless discernment when it matters the most?
I think it's dependent on the woman that if she's attentive.
Hold on, Mr. Wayne. Depending on that's a sum.
No, and I didn't want to use it. I knew it when I said it.
That's what I'm asking. So, like, well, let me ask CJ. Did you? I know I said a lot. I apologize. It was a question, but I added a lot of context. But is she that piece when it matters the most, right? And if not, why? And if not, how can we get there?
When it matters the most. You said a couple of times a year.
And I'll be hyper, but it could be more than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they seem like
anecdotal or just what we see.
I don't want it to be anecdotal if we always winning.
That's
No. I don't mind it being anecdotal, but if every time we give up an anecdotal example, we always winning. We always coming out on the bright side. You know what I'm saying? Like I asked about a few different things yesterday, right? Just because I know men think about this shit. CJ, I don't know if you was here for the whole show yesterday. Miss Williams, I know you was in and out and all that, but I'm like, yo, I always, every time we go out, I pay. Well, obviously I pay, right? All the time, everything, whatever. And I'm like, don't nobody say thank you in this motherfucker.
I did see that part. Yeah.
Right? You know, am I bugging or is it? But this thing, you see? Like when that nigga really, that day, it fucked me up that day, bro. Like I had to slow it down. Like, you know what I mean? Somebody could have got hurt if I would have went in McDonald's. That's why I went through the drive-thru. Like one of them days. You know how it go?
Yeah.
And does she have the discernment and the selflessness to say, oh shit, it's one of them days? Or is that not her responsibility? Shit like that. You know what I mean?
Thing is,
I'm listening.
It shouldn't even get to one of them days. Like she should be your peace every day to where you feel like every day when I come home, the weight of the world is lifted off my shoulders. But it's like it's more weight when we come home. It's more weight. And we looking for 1 or 2 days a year when I'm really fucking at the edge for you to pull me back. But I shouldn't even get to the edge. Why am I getting to the edge when I got this person that's my peace? I should never be at the edge. You should always bring me. Go ahead. You on mute.
Because CJ, this is my interjection, right? I'm just talking about the hardest days, right? You know? And also I'm talking about the reality that, they going through shit too. Kids is being kids, right? Shit going haywire, all it, right? So it's going to be hard and it's going to be discourse, right? It's going to be pushback. You're going to have conversations, right? All that stuff. But when that shit really hitting the fan, be like, can she do that at that time? Like, we got to be realistic.
The thing is, I think they do when it's outside of them. Say somebody close to you die, then they know how to be there for you. But the problem is, and this is the big problem, they are creating most of those hard days for us.
That's the
problem.
That's a different point.
Most of those hard days aren't coming unless they create them for us. They're putting all these. We don't go through most shit. Most shit is like But the women are putting so much stress on us. They're creating the most horrific days for us. We're going through the ringer because that's why the men self-deletion rate is up after the divorce. You know what women put the men through when they want to leave the man they're with? They put them through hell.
Now that Relly ain't spoken in a while. Now that is an how you say logical correlation. So Sherelle, he's saying women are bringing most the stressors. That's why she can't be peace because she's more of a part of the stress than the peace. An example of that is the suicide rates are highest in men after he gets divorced.
And it's the first 30 days after divorce.
So you see the correlate. So he not even being like every other day CJ be being CJ. That's actually a decent correlating example, right? Even if it's still nominal, because when we look at suicide rates, it's 50,000 men, right, in a year. So that's a small number, but it's still people killing themselves.
Yeah, I know, and I said that divorce, right? So I was like,
yeah, go ahead.
Divorced men,
No, I know you said it, but I guess the point that he's saying, women create the most stress for men. That's why they can't be the peace, because they're the biggest stressor. As an example, men are killing themselves 30 days after divorce because of what the women put them through. So I want to get your assessment on all of that. You see?
Yeah, so that's what I was explaining. So it's not the women. So if women were the bigger stress, then being with the women, the men who are with the women would be the ones offing themselves. The men are offing themselves who lose the women.
Okay, so the counterpoint is, CJ,
Women
that
don't act right.
the men who delete themselves the least are married.
So when they have the woman, they're
No.
not.
That's it right there.
Yeah, leave it
You
there.
see, what do you think about that? So same statistical data set, right? That shows the men who are married delete themselves the least. The men who get divorced delete themselves the most within the first.
I'll give her that. I'll give her that point.
I guess so. Do we? Is it a push?
We'll give
That's
it a
what y'all
push right
saying in like gambling.
Yeah,
right?
It's a push.
It's a push. Then that's interesting though.
But it's not saying that. It's not saying that women don't need to better their decorum. But what I'm telling you is, it's kind of like the scraps argument that we said.
The what?
They don't have so the same way, it's like the scraps thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's no incentive for them to better their decorum, because without me, you wouldn't even want to live. You like, that's something they'll tell you. You can't even live.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right.
So now this part, because I forgot when we said scraps. Now, CJ, this is what we were talking about, Sherelle and I. The men aren't deleting themselves when they married because duty, responsibility, and they don't want to fail. Not so much the woman. So it may still. Now, I'm not even saying y'all going back and forth. I'm just saying it may still lean towards CJ's point. Because Sherelle, when you made the scraps analogy,
and HAMP, they don't, like, if you're in a marriage, you got kids. Like you said, the duty to still, you don't want to disappoint your kids. Like, who want to delete themselves? They got kids to take care of. They still got a family. They got, But once the person leaves them and take their family, and you know how women be. Then, to my point again, it gets higher after divorce in the first 30 days because of that.
No, that's okay. Smitty, what's goody? What's poppin'? What you got for us?
I like to sit back and learn. So, can I tap in?
Yeah, sure.
Appreciate you.
Good to see you. How's everything? You all right?
Much respect to you. If I'm awake, then I'm doing wonderful, sir.
Indeed.
Shit like that.
Fingers don't do that. My fingers can't do that.
He been doing that for 20 years, though. He been practicing that shit.
Cheeky can do it too.
Oh, I can do it too. Oh shit, TJ, you the weirdo. My bad. That good was popping.
How everybody doing, man? It's good to see everybody.
Yes, sir. We're shaking.
I honestly was gonna come up all explosive and with a gang of bullshit, but I'm not gonna do that. The point is, it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're trying to find out if women are men's peace. So I joined the panel from looking in the chat, and I'm just based on the women in the community.
You breaking up?
He needs to sit his ass down somewhere.
Did my shit go off?
Yeah, you trying to do a whole bunch of walking around and shit.
Damn.
Yes. Check.
He probably can't see us. His shit probably going in circles.
He got them new Nene Leak teeth in, man. That nigga.
Hey, my boy's that no, man. My boy.
Wait. I was about to say, was that new teeth?
My boy.
He got them Nene Leaks in, baby.
Guys, like goo, baby. Smiling like me up in this bitch.
I wonder if they're the ones that come out and go in at nighttime.
Nah, you could tell he's still getting used to them shits. Them the Nene. Look up Nene Leak teeth, nigga. Alexis, what's popping?
Good afternoon. How y'all doing?
What's goody? How you?
We here and happy to be here. I wanted to be on some BS, but I guess this ain't BS time. This is
Man, it's BS time. Y'all gonna come up here with all that. You got smoke, get the smoke.
nah, I ain't got no smoke, but I'm just saying,
light the cigarette. Y'all get it off.
But the can don't need no ashtray. But I feel like I think when you mentioned about men having that standard to where they're thinking about everything else as far as if they crumble sometimes, like I can't do this because I got the kids, I got da 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 da. But and it kind of messed up, like that's how they have to think like that. Like the fact that you can't purely say like, nah, I'm just not giving up because that ain't it. I mean, because low key people be saying that shit like fuck them kids, like and everything else. So low key we can't just be like, nah, that's just not what I'm about to do. F all the stuff in the background, because a lot of that stuff you can lose. So if you don't have it, is that giving the permission to say, oh well, since I don't have it, then I guess delete myself, or being the worst of the F boys is an option now because I don't have anything behind it?
I'm trying to really on it because you're building on a premise, but I'm not sure. Like, so what are you saying?
Because like CJ had mentioned, as far as like men having things like, oh, I got kids, I got this, and I got this. Like, you have all this stuff, but if you don't have it, even if you don't have the kids, even if you don't have the ideal job, can't we just be like, I'm not giving up because I'm not giving up, not because of all this other stuff?
Yeah. So here's the thing. Yes, right is the obvious answer, but we're talking at what? Well, just let me take this. I'm gonna walk with you, right? So, but we're talking about mental health and lack thereof, right? So we already mentioned self-esteem, right? And we're talking about her being peace, right? It's when the going get tough, you'd be surprised what a catalyst can do. You know, things outside of yourself that can help inspire you to be better or to get out of a rut. We all need help or somebody to put their hand out for us, right? Lift as you climb. It should be the modus operandi for most people. You know, I think Lex though is we can't discern failure absolutely. So let's say a man is 40 years old and he aspired to be a father and to be a husband and to do all these things, and let's say he doesn't have that history of being a whoremonger and things of that nature, and yet he still can't achieve those goals. Right? He may deem himself a failure, in which case that's what I think men are killing themselves for. You got divorced, you fail. You know what I mean? So I'm just speculating as I'm trying to just walk down what you're saying. So even though it looked like he chilling, but there's things that he was trying to strive for, he just can't meet them goals. Now that self-esteem is in the pits, and then he chooses the extreme option.
Okay. And with that point, like what you broke down, you can't meet the extreme goal, but what's the underlying issue for why you can't? And is that a lot of discussion that we're having? I'm saying, like, forget the things, you know, that you can have that's going to push you harder, but the underlying goal of what's at the start of the foundation, like your upbringing, the parents, you know, all that type of stuff, before we get there to add on the other things to push you.
Yeah. So
there's like, what is the way to be in a good space to where if you get to that point of, oh yeah, I got all this stuff that has, you know, that I gotta, you know, that's gonna push me. But even if you don't get to that point, what are we working on to make sure that we can still sustain without that stuff? Like I'm asking for males, because I think about this stuff because I have a son and me and his father is not together. So I think of like, what else can I do to make sure, like outside, because he's not dating a woman, but I think it starts at the foundation. So what are those other things that we can start with outside of all that other stuff to get to, oh, well, this is the thing that's pushing me? Because if we're the biggest stress, like, when did we start that? Like, where did it start to where now we're the biggest stress? Like, there was nothing else that happened.
Start liking y'all once we start. But can I answer this?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
So it really comes down to hope, like the belief that things could get better. You have no hope that things could get better, or you got to be content with the life that you have. You know, like it's either or. If you don't believe things could get better, you're not content with the life you have. Then people say, what else is there to live for? So you have those two options. Feel me? So you got to give someone the hope. You got to try to instill hope in them, or if they're not content with their life, they got to find that motivation within themselves. You know, it's a tough like. If you don't have the things to live for, to push you to live, where did that leave you? Where did that leave you? That's tough. Yeah, I guess that in there, it's just hope. You gotta have hope,
what?
or be content with the life you live in.
You know what? Also, CJ, you may not have the perfect answer for it. I think hope is. I understand what you're saying, because Lex kind of asking for like, what can I do to help my little boy?
Yeah,
you know, but that shit, it's so much shit happening at once.
Yeah.
What you got, Cheek? What you think, man? What's popping?
It's good.
Oh, goody.
Everybody doing good.
Yes, sir.
I think it really just it comes from like the pressure of everything falling on you, right? Like,
this one,
like
Cheek.
I know.
Oh, Cheek. I know it. I almost heard like I could hear this almost in what you kind of just said. Maybe not, but
next time you go somewhere with a man in public watching, they are never relaxed.
Like the fact that Miss Jilly's just saying that is, I hope that they reading it for real, you know. But go ahead, Cheek.
Yeah, I just think it comes from everything kind of relying on you, and that's kind of why, like, I know y'all like the crack jokes on me about the whole house husband thing or whatever the case, but it really does stem from like this idea everything is based on you, right? And then women put this expectation that everything is based on you as well, because in actuality, if we keep maintaining this mindset that everything's based on you, and the second part of it, which is men don't make excuses, like that also is another reason why it's a lot harder to communicate when something's off, because it sounds like an excuse. But to a man, and when you've been raised by like a parent, like a strict one at that, everything is an excuse if it didn't get done. And it's like, well, there's more to it, but you're not trying to hear that. You're trying to understand why it get done, make sure it get done next time. So I think people take on that mentality, because I know I did for a long time, until I got older and like understood my dad more about what he meant by that. But initially, when you like young, if you being taught that and it stick with you, everything is your fault and ain't nothing you could do about it. And if it go wrong, it is your fault. Like, no matter how logical it is, like if you get married and it fails, you're not going to be thinking, well, logically speaking, it's going to be like, bro, I failed. There's no excuse. And then once that hit, for some people, you know, the pressure builds up years down the road. For some people, it take that one time, but that pressure is always there. If you're being raised or being taught to be an example or exemplary male, like if you're being told to be responsible, be accountable, be a good man, all of these things, when it comes with pressure, they don't tell you about how to offload the pressure. They don't tell you about, hey, there are certain things that come with being a good man that's just out of your control. They make it seem like everything's in your control, which is why if your wife is out of order, it's your fault. Which is if you get a divorce, it's your fault. Which is if you thought you vetted well, but you didn't, it's your fault. But it's like, well, I'm a human being. I can't get this all right. Like, I don't know everything, but that's not how they teach good men to be. They teach good men to be this everlasting deity that has no breaking point, forgetting that you're actually a man. So yeah, I think that's kind of what happens with it. When it comes to your kids, like, I feel like that's more up to the dad. Well, I'm not gonna hold you. It hit different coming from your dad than to do your mom. It don't matter what it is. I'm not gonna even lie about it.
Yo, Cheek, this one, right? And CJ, you can jump in, right? Because I think in these conversations, because it's so nuanced, I think anecdotal examples are actually decently valuable, right? So there's a transition period. The company that moved me down here, I think I told y'all this, closed like a month after moving me, right? All these kids, we bought this house, everything, right? Just closed, you know. But my kids is signed up for all types of shit, swimming and all, you know what I mean? And so my wife make an inquiry, hey, so should we cut this up? Don't touch none of that shit. Right? I hustle. So I'm gonna make, you know what I mean? I'm gonna make it happen no matter what. Okay. But in my head, I'm thinking that, you know, that's what and safe to say we made it happen. But the point is, like, the kids ain't gonna not go to swimming. The kids ain't gonna not go to soccer. The kids ain't, I'll be damned, you know? And you, to your point, just like with the you just heap all that shit on you. You know what I mean? Because you don't want your kid to be left out, to feel like they can't do something because of $1 or some shit like that. And that'll weigh on you. Even if you don't let it, it's gonna weigh on you, right? Because shit got to get paid for. So no, that's a good point, man. That's a good point. I wonder if that's self-induced though. To your point, right, Shiki? It's my fault because it's my fault, right?
Yeah.
This heifer got a nasty mouth. It's my fault. Right? Whatever. Like, yeah, no, that's interesting. It's a lot of self-imposed things.
And to
that's a good point.
We were just having this conversation in the Discord. It was me and somebody else arguing, and Clips was like, "So y'all one of them niggas that everything ain't y'all fault." I said, "Why would everything be my fault? Like, why would we have to take accountability?" Like, that makes zero sense. He's like, "Yeah, well, we was raised where everything is our fault. We always take accountability for everything, even if it's not our fault." And I'm like, that shit is mind blowing. And I'm understanding.
Mind you, I wasn't there for that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm glad you brought that up.
Your point was organic.
So, yeah. So it's like, but it's a,
we've been
a good mindset to have, though. It's not it's like, go ahead.
Well, CJ, no, you got the floor still. I just wanted to add this saying. Y'all probably heard it before. If it's good, we say we. If it's bad, we say me. Like in leadership roles, managerial positions, captain of the team, whatever the case is, right? Quarterback blame himself, and then he give everybody else credit when they win, right? You know, when they lose, he blame himself. So, but go ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that too. I'm like, I control everything I could control. I will take responsibility for. But why would I take responsibility for the things I can't control? Like, why I put that much onus on myself? I don't understand that. Why I put that much pressure on myself to control the uncontrollable? It makes zero sense.
Because you get told that's what you can do. Like, people, especially men, when it comes to just, they really do make it seem like you're the master of your own destination. And to a degree, I think you should have I think you should have some level of, like, you know, that should be encouraging and true to an extent, but they never tell you about the limitations. They always tell you this is in your control. Why didn't you do it? And then if you look at the circumstance, there are parts that was in your control, but then there's parts that's out of your control. It's just your job to mitigate the things that are out of your control, which is why, again, that whole picking your woman and making sure she's the right one matters so much.
But the question is, Cheeky,
it matters so much.
Who reach higher heights? The one who believes everything is his fault, or the one who believes, oh, I have things that's not in my control? That's the part I think the
Yeah,
person who believes, I believe everything is in my control, they reach higher heights than the people who believe, no, it's not my fault. Oh, I couldn't
So,
control this.
no,
So
I think your question is rhetorical because of how you posed it. However, I would like to hear their commentary on that rhetorical question. So, Cheek, because you and CJ were kind of engaging. What do you think about that? Right? Because it's assumptive. He's saying the one who
Yeah.
blames himself, that means he put the onus on himself. He gonna push. The one who think everybody else's fault is more likely to not be so aspirational, so to speak.
Right. And this is where we always find ourselves on the extreme of something. It's never like this balance where, hey, I know these things are in my control. A perfect example is I know I need to study for a test. All right. If I put in the hours and I study the material and I try and I get a 75, it's not because I didn't do what I could. It's just I did the best I could, and this is the result.
Yeah.
Now,
but to be a HAMP, don't you got to be extreme to be a man that reach his highest height? You have to be extreme. Go ahead.
Everybody keeps saying they want to be that man, or everybody's saying they are that man, and in actuality, you're regular. We keep going back to this thing, and I don't know why people are not okay with being regular. You are regular. It's okay. You do not have to be the top CEO to be a good man. You do not have to make $100,000 to be a good man. For some reason, we keep putting these numbers or expectations, stipulations on one another, and then we go, "Why aren't we doing well mentally?" Well, because you're not the person that you're striving to be. Some people are just cheeky, and some people are just stupid. If you're stupid, I'm not gonna be like, "Hey, look here, little autistic kid. You're gonna be you're the next Bill Gates." I'm not going to do that. If you're missing a chromosome, I'm not going to tell the kid that's missing a chromosome, don't worry, but you're going to.
I agree with that, but wait, who are more regular? The people that put the onus on everybody else. Hey, it's not my fault. The people that put the blame on themselves, they are the more outstanding, more accomplished, more people who overachieve.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, so generally, if you heard that logic, the assumption would be that those people are more likely to overachieve if they put the onus on themselves because they think they can do something about every single facet. Now, how realistic is it is, I think, what's in question. Now, here's the crux of it. What Chiki's saying is the balance is I studied and I did the best I could, right? The person who blames himself for everything is my best wasn't good enough. Now, what does that do to his psyche? Because they both trying, but how they discern the results is what causes these stress factors, self-esteem issues, etc. And so that's what's kind of being discussed, which is actually great. Like both of y'all actually doing pretty good, I guess. So, damn, like that. I'm just thinking, like,
Got him. It's a good argument. It's a great argument.
Well, it's just if we're talking about the limits of human capability, we have to look at everything uniquely. You cannot make this standardized assessment of what people should or shouldn't be. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care how much you may want to do something. Certain people just aren't going to be able to do that, and it's okay. Like, you would just need to find somebody that matches or is able to be okay with that, and y'all be okay together. But if you keep asking a C student to be an A student and they don't have the potential or the talent to do so, you're asking a lot. Like, HAMP, some kids that work hard and play good football, they're never going to make it to the NFL. Yeah, not saying that. That's not saying that they don't have good work ethic. It doesn't mean that they're not better than others, but they're not the best. You're not. And that doesn't mean you should be comfortable or not strive to reach more, but know your limitation and don't put that pressure on yourself to do so.
Yo, real shit, right? So, Cheek, this is what Sherelle and I were talking about too. Things have to be in perspective, right? So, if I'm aspiring to get in shape, this is what we used earlier. My aspiration isn't to be like the fucking Rock, right? That nigga only eat cod. He eat 3,000 calories a day. He can work out. He got every supplement in the world. He takes
steroids. Like,
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna trick myself off the street, so to speak, right? Just by trying to. But now, if I go to my doctor and say, "Hey, I'm 39 and a half years old, right? This is my body composition, etc. Right? Here were the best I've ever been. What's my reality? You see? And now an expert can say, do this, this, and this. This is healthy for a man your age, your height. Now, when I get to that, I'm on high now. But it got to be within reason.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and I don't think me and Cheeky disagree. Yeah, I agree with Cheeky for sure.
Yeah. But it's not to say I'm going to be complacent, but I also want to be realistic in my aspiration.
All right.
Or else you're going to defeat yourself.
And that's the point. And that's like you hear, and the craziest thing is you hear successful people talk about this. The pressures that came not from them, but from outside forces. You start talking to Nigerian children and them being in tech, or Asian kids and them being in tech, you'll see a whole bunch of TikTok reels talking about, I don't even talk to my parents no more. I don't even hang out with them. I don't want nothing to do with them because they put all this extra pressure on me to do something that I didn't even know because I didn't know myself, one. And then two, I did it and now I'm feeling empty. And now what? And they still keep asking me about things that I don't even know if I want to strive for. These are the things that people are especially younger people are starting to do now. First generation immigrants are like, hey, I'm the first out of the house, but I know I'm trying to find a balance between this. My parents were on me. They were tiger moms, tiger dad, whatever you want to call them, helicopter moms. And they did this because they wanted their child to overachieve in material things, but they're lacking in other areas. They're lacking mentally.
Yeah.
And it shows. And it's like, we can't, as men, right? Because we're dealing with men's issues today. You can't put that pressure on yourself and then say there's no excuse. There's no reason why this shouldn't happen. No, it is a reason. It's just when the reason comes, try to think of a reason. Try to find a way out of it and utilize the help that's being offered.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully the woman you with is offering help and not offering more problems. That's the loophole. I just have yet to meet one, which is why I'm single again.
Oh my God! I thought your bro was looking on you. What the fuck?
God damn, bro! Like it's just you gotta. It take time. Not only do it take time, but you gotta be okay with ending something, even if it isn't bad. Like if it's not bad, but this isn't right, and you experiencing shit you shouldn't experience. Don't marry it and then be like, she is cussing me out. Now I can say it's my fault. All the signs was there. I'm being very logical. That would be the time where you go, I kind of messed up. I picked this for myself. Utilize people around you. My dad. I utilize my father. I utilize my parents. I utilize grandparents. I utilize older people. Hey, y'all see this? Help me. Well, help me. What do y'all think? And then they'll tell me, and I go, I was thinking the same thing. Now we got to make a decision.
Yeah. Yeah, and that point, now that you'd be like, yeah, I fucked this up.
No,
I fucked this up. What, Lex? You unmuted? What's popping?
Yeah, no, I wasn't. But I was thinking that's why, and sometimes I be having a hard time trying to articulate my thoughts all at once. But that's what I was thinking. Like, where does this start? And if there's anything that we could do to alleviate that, to where you could have good discernment to say, oh, she's stressing, I ain't trying to be with that. Let me, before other things come in, like kids and all that, which will give you another push, right? Is there something that is out there to help men specifically, to where they're like, you know what, I have better discernment, I don't have to deal with that stress? Or
identify, discern would make you identify negative aspects of traits. So this is one thing that Arnold and I was talking about, and I said it earlier in the show. But essentially, when men are saying all we want is cooperation, right? Mm-hmm. My simple thought is that you have to ask for every single thing you want, right? And she should be able to deliver on, let's say, 80-90% of that shit. If you only asking for one thing, I could fake one thing. It's going to be hard for me to fake 10 things. And if I keep turning red flags into yellow flags, right, I'm going to do myself a disservice. And her beauty can't be the overarching factor for the reason why in which I give her deference or grace or brevity. You know, and I think we need to re-rank what's important to us as men to yield better results. Now, I'm speaking in platitudes, right? Because we know that ass, though. Feel me? So again, I know I'm speaking in platitudes. I'm just saying, right? If we just reprioritize, you know, and ask for
good. Hey.
Yeah, if ask for all the things on the totem pole, and she can't be pretty, so I say, all right, fuck the rest of the totem pole. That ain't gonna go how you think it's gonna go.
Hey, it's like a give and take, Hank. The more pretty, the less you give on the.
I know, and see, I'm just answering Lex's question because he talking about for baby boy. So for baby boy, he can't be a that ass though nigga and then be complaining.
Right.
Like Uncle Chief said, nah, nigga, you did you can't. I don't want to hear shit now. You know?
I'm not letting my son bring home no big back. No,
you have to have a
if she's submissive, cooperative, a good communicator. She got one of the pretty faces, so at the very least you could work it off her. Like, you know what I'm saying?
All right. Now we talking.
Everything for that ass. So that's you can't win. Yeah, like but I'm just saying, CJ, if we keep the modus operandi, we should expect to lose.
Yeah.
We can't even ask about peace if we keep being that ass though niggas. You see?
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead, Lex. That would be my answer to your question.
Well, because and I didn't want to put it out there, like, even though me and his father are not together, we stay close, relatively close. So he does get his dad's, you know, attention and time with his father. They about to go somewhere next week for a week, but it's just I'll be thinking about stuff that I could do at home because, you know, that space is still there. So I think about stuff that I could do at home. And one thing I have been working on as far as thinking about the conversations that we have is being like agreeable and soft with him, even though if it's something that I'm like, nah, you got to bust your head open. I know, but just trying to have that because I can't expect him to want a certain type of female or have that discernment with females if I can't even exercise it at home. So in a sense, being my son's peace at home and also trying to hold that balance of not being overly, you know, and stuff.
The mom manifestation gonna be different. Yeah, it's a different type of thing. I think the thing that would help him understand how it's supposed to look the most is your interactions with his daddy. Even though you're not together, like how you interact with his dad is how you're gonna see, oh, this is the treatment. You know. Now, generally speaking, I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Generally speaking, I discipline my son the most. Like his mom would get on him, but I just want him to understand what authority looks like, where it is. You need to respect, love, take care of your mom, and etc. Right? But I don't know. It could just be me, right? Just him getting yelled and fussed at by a woman all the time. I don't want him to get used to that.
Don't allow it, Hank, please.
And at the same time, he need to have the utmost respect for his mom. She shouldn't have to yell at him to do something. The yelling come from me most of the time, you know. And he get in trouble for everything. I was around the corner one time. He was doing something, and I see him looking for me because he told his mom no. So instantly he looking around and shit like I'm about to jump out the sky. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would say, Lex.
Yeah, that's funny as hell. That's funny as hell. Looking back, before I say no, let me.
No, nigga.
That sounds good. That's better. That's better.
Yeah, but now I think. Thank you for your input. That, like I said,
I mean, anybody else got that? Was just my 2 cents.
That's good. Like I said, it's just things I think about at home because I'm in the house with him, and I don't want him making those mistakes as far as being like he got to be with this woman if she's not his piece and they don't have any of those tangibles. Like, no, please.
And it's so easy to get wrapped up in that idea. So it's so easy to be like, man, because a lot of times men will take on the superhero complex, like I can fix all of this, like, and then you just realize, bro, no, you can't. Like, don't even. And you got to just tell them, you can't fix what's not yours that was broke. If you didn't break it, don't try to fix it, bro. Because this goes beyond you. This is way beyond you. Way beyond you. Don't even try it.
Yeah. That'd be a big, well, let me read the DC Slim with the $5. What up? DC says, the women ain't your piece. Ask your mother. DC Slim with the $5 says, the woman is your partner, not your piece. She your business partner, not your mama. I don't know. I think we might disagree there, big boy. And with the $2 says, to CJ point, is that not evil or not? Oh, he talking about
is that evil or not from the other day?
Yeah,
it's his point.
And with the $2 says, the end of Why Did I Get Married To explains it. I ain't never watched that. Rebecca.
Perfect. Shit like that.
The 20 ball says, shout out to all the black men that struggle in silence or struggle at all.
Shit like that. Shit like
You
that.
are loved and you are essential. Rebecca, appreciate you. DC Slim with the $5 says, some of y'all dudes ain't at peace with yourself, so she can't help you if she tried. You think the majority, minority?
Man,
We Barrett with the $5. Huh?
DC Slim in that job. I don't know what my boy be talking about.
Reaper Rel with the $5 says, salute panel. Cheeky, sorry for your breakup, but you are slowly creeping towards the dark side. I'm proud. It's my life. This is
what is he talking about? Reaper just be what is he talking about? Creeping toward the dark side. What does that mean? I don't even know what that means.
The truth, motherfucker, the truth. The red pill.
Which is what
women nature is. That women ain't shit, bro. They damn near evil to Aaron's
and
point the other day. Damn near evil, bro.
Y'all lose me. This is where y'all lose
evil
me.
woman around.
This is the dark side. I'll never be on that shit.
All right, let me hold on. Y'all can address it when I only got a couple. Like, Dawn, if I was cheeky, I broke up with my girl again. Getting your passport ready, bro. Reaper with the $5 says Cheeky gonna realize all his issues stem from one thing. Can't wait till he end up in the street like Cisco singing what they really want from a nigga. Oh my god! So what is Reaper really saying to Cheeky, CJ? What is he saying?
Help me.
He's saying you used to be so understanding. I understand what women are. It's like you're liberal. Cheeky is half liberal, but he kind of starting to lean more towards the okay, women ain't really shit. And I'm starting to see it by dealing with most of these women. We ain't gonna say the evil word, but they ain't shit for sure. A bunch of hoes, bunch of promiscuity. You can't find you a girl that's a. Have you ever found a virgin? A virgin woman?
Well, you know what? I know. No, I have not been able to.
Can't even find a virgin woman. Fucking nah, you coming to the dark side, brother. You act like you don't want to admit it. But
I don't know why
brother.
I don't know. Y'all are very unfamiliar with who I am, but that's okay. I'm not mad at you, CJ. You met me at This Might Be Risky. I've been on the internet longer than this, okay? I'm not saying nothing that I don't. Y'all keep saying you don't know what. Look, I've got clips. I've got all kind of. I have my mentality about women is not naive. I'm very aware of what women are. I'm just saying there needs to be some understanding when it comes to trying to communicate.
Back to this understanding shit.
All right, bro.
You don't have to understand.
You don't have to be understanding. I'm not putting my ideology on you.
With this understanding shit. What we need to understand, man.
That they're human beings and they different than us.
Come on, man.
They different
we
than
don't
us.
understand that they humans.
They got extra shit going on.
We understand all that shit, Cheeky.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, if you understand,
so why you acting like we need to understand that they humans? This is the liberal part that you start talking. Like,
why is that liberal? That's not liberal. That's just me recognizing.
Like, we understand they humans. We understand they different. We understand. This is what we're talking about. How different they are, and how the different is a negative difference. It's not a positive difference. Cheeky want to just be like, you want to be like, we are the world.
The difference is your conclusion of their differences is they ain't shit. My conclusion is they're different. They're difficult. But I'm trying to
see Cheeky gotta correct. Let me tell you what happened in the other show.
CJ, you think women? Hold on. You think women are hoes? You think all women are hoes? Or you think 99% of women are hoes?
98%.
98. Okay, what's a hoe? 20 plus bodies or more?
Hell fucking no. Like I'll go, but then we gotta go with the age range too. So I'll say 10 by 20.
Okay, how many good men you think are in the world, like percentage wise?
What's a good man? What we calling good men?
Give me the percentage. How many?
What are we calling a good? What are we calling a good man? A man that
tell
won't
me
cheat.
the percentage. I'm just curious. When I say men are good, if I say women are hoes, you said 98 without any explanation. When I say men are good, what's your percentage for men that are good?
Good men, 80%.
80%. Right. Then that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to understand how you get to 80 and then going, I don't want. And when I ask you, we need more clarification. We need more this, that, and the third. When I say are women hoes, 98%. Didn't need no.
But I gave you my number. You gave your number, and I said we need. I said we need clarification on that too.
CJ, all I'm saying, what I'm saying is this: I don't think women are very exclusive to the ancient.
Are women hoes? Are women hoes?
No, I don't think women are hoes.
What percentage?
Oh, I think a lot. I don't know, probably like 30, 40 maybe.
What's the
and that's high. That's extremely high. I'm being very
20 bodies. You know. What's a hoe?
Over 20?
No, what's a hoe to you?
If we're going about over 20, it's got to be
no. What's a hoe to you under your definition?
Me? You can't ask me that. If you got more than 5 bodies, you a hoe. That's just
more than 5 bodies. You said more than 5 bodies.
More than 5. If that's the case,
under 30% of women have. You think under 30% of women have more than 5 bodies?
That's like 90. That's like 90 in the 90s. If you're going off my
wait a minute. Hold on. We gotta get some clarification here. Over how many women have 5 or more bodies? What percentage of women have 5 or more bodies? You said 30% of women
in the U.S. All of them. It's got to be close to 90. 99.
So what you talking about? So then all of them are hoes under your definition.
No, but here's the difference, CJ. How many bodies you got? You fucking whore.
100. I say like 100.
You're a whore.
I'm a hoe too. Yes, but it's different.
So that's you right.
I can be a whore. I can be a whore. It's hard for men to do this. It's easy for women to give their body out. If women are just giving I can't be. It's harder for me to do this.
We're losing the plot. What's the plot?
What's the plot?
Plot is not. It's not women and hoes. Go ahead, Zachary.
No, the plot was how you come into the dark side, and I'm teaching. I'm trying to explain how you get into the dark side. Now you want to go back to the good side, to the light, and halfway on the dark.
CJ, stop, please, brother. You did that. You did that. He already said it went from 30% to 90%. Arrest your case.
Exactly. Brother. Thank you.
Okay. I don't think women can be a man's piece, for one, because they want to be men. That's where we at with it. They want to be men, so the envy allows them not to be peaceful, if for lack of a better word. They don't. Men can't be a woman's piece also because they will never love us unconditionally. You always have to do X, Y, or Z to get certain, I guess, whatever we call responses, or get them to submit or act decent even. So that's another pressure that it puts on men. I'm not knocking the pressure. We already had that pressure. That's what we put upon ourselves. But I'm saying from their perspective, which causes an extra amount of pressure on us, which is one of the reasons it's mental health awareness for men. And we got women in the community in the chat dragging us, just pouring it on. So I don't expect them to be our piece. I don't think they are our piece. And I think that's been more recent, but as far as just like, and I'm not talking about HAMP, the normal stresses of having a relationship and, being in a relationship with a person. So other than that. So the penis envy, that's what I think. And then like CJ was saying, quality of person, and maybe it's just me. I don't think that they're evil, as was said the other day, but like they were saying, close to it, their intentions towards men. My point.
What I missed? I had to. I walked off for a second. What did I miss?
My shit is over here.
Cheeky admitted that women were hoes. He said they wasn't hoes. He said 30%. Then he said 90%. I got him to admit that 90% of women were hoes.
No. What happened was HAMP, CJ and Reaper Rail, for whatever reason, keep thinking that I'm naive to women and both the good and bad natures of women. Okay. I am very aware of it, which is why I proceed with caution. They think that me proceeding with caution and still going, there still needs to be understanding, is blue pill, I guess. And red pill is women are not good, they hoes, and What else? They ain't shit. That's what
Cheeky,
CJ
wait.
CJ literally said. Women ain't shit, and Cheeky starting to realize that. And I'm like, I always knew women ain't shit.
Cheeky don't
you know
think.
what?
Hold on,
Really
Cheeky.
showed me that.
Hold on, Cheeky.
CJ. Break it down.
Cheeky don't think that we understand that women are humans. He don't think that we understand that women are different than us. I said, we understand this. He said, we need to understand that women are humans too. That's something we all understand as people. That women are humans too. We give women that benefit of the doubt. We not acting like women are fucking. What do you think we think women are?
Okay. All right.
Cheeky,
So
that's a better question. Wait. I need this answer, Ham. Cheeky.
Okay.
What do you think we think women are?
I think y'all think women are a burden, like beyond repair. Like there's
They
no
are
need for
fucking
them.
burden.
Hold on, wait. Let me finish.
Humans,
There's
wait.
Let me finish. There's no need for this burden beyond sex. If you couldn't get vagina out of women, you would see no value in them. That's what I think you think women are. Let me ask you this: if women didn't have a vagina, would you still fuck with them, CJ?
Probably not, because they are a burden.
Hey,
hold on, motherfucker. They are a burden.
So
humans can be. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Humans can be burdens, first of all, and if they're not contributing more than they're taking away, that would be perceived as a burden, first of all, which most women do. And without vaginas, why would men be attracted to doing more for this thing that they can't get out of? Why would any human do this for another human? Go ahead, except for their child.
Okay.
And if they didn't have vaginas, we couldn't have the child. All right,
CJ, we're on the same page. Stop doing more for women then. It's that simple. I don't do extra for women. I do what I would do for my friends to my female friends. If my friend is in need, I would help him. If my female friend
wait, even your girl?
What do you mean, my girl? What about her? Or
you do the same for your girl as you would do for your friend?
Do I do the same for my girl? No, I do more.
Exactly. And
because
she do less for you than you do for her. So
wait. I do more for her because she does more than any of my friends could do.
But she does more as much. No. Don't even start
capacity in that. What he's saying.
Right.
Easy.
The reason
you gave me
why...
the fractions. No, motherfucker. You gave me the fractions the other day. 1/2. You said if her number is 6/12 and my number is 1/2, we both have 1/2. But her number is more, so she's getting more from you than you're getting from her, which is by default a burden.
Okay, so CJ, here's my retort to that. I tend to offer more to most people than I get in return, just because. Sorry to say this, I'm better than most people.
It is what it is. That don't change that. Most people are burdens to you.
Okay, so that's CJ. My point is this: yes, most people are burdens, or most people can be burdens. The difference is, I'm not looking at a woman going, if you didn't have a vagina, I wouldn't fuck with you. I look at her character. I look at how she is as a person.
What would you do with her if she didn't have a vagina?
The same thing, because she's a human being. Why would I change anything different? Hold on. I don't hang out with the niggas I hang out with.
Women are. Oh my God, man.
Well, a few things, right? If Cheeky is discarding these women whenever he sees undesirable traits, doesn't that mean that he understands and he can identify what's valuable to him? And unlike other niggas who look past that shit because she pretty or the vagina is good, he getting out of it before fully committing. That sound like he actually isn't naive.
I didn't say he was naive.
Well, I'm saying that's what he said.
Intimate. Okay,
and then secondarily, these things, when the rubber meets the road, it's hard to reconcile. Birth rates, right? We're talking about, when I'm usually talking about black women. I'll say 99.9% of the time. Birth rates, have a lot of kids. Abortion rates, got a lot of abortion. STD rates, got a lot of STDs. Without societal constructs, you know what I know? Women like fucking just as much as niggas do. And so if you acknowledge the fact that they are human, without societal constructs in hand, everybody would be fucking at the same rates. but because society judges it differently, we know how it's looked at. It's looked at negatively. That's why it's not the same. But when you say they human, they do the same shit we do in the sexual capacity as well. But societal constructs say they can't though. But when you look at because CJ, what I'm saying is the stats that we use against them also prove that they like
they like sex.
You see what I'm saying? So it just
I don't. But my own argument is they don't like it as much as much as us.
Yeah,
I agree.
I guess I think I agree. You know, I think that we say women need more attachment until we start talking about OnlyFans and all these rates and all this shit. Then you like,
they hoes.
You see, you know what I mean? Just in the consideration of it.
But
you know?
let me tell you how I got cheeky. He said most women 30% are hoes. Then he said, I said, what's a hoe to you? Five or more bodies. He said, how many women have those bodies? He said, over 90%. Then how could you reconcile that only 30% of women are hoes, but then you said a hoe is 5 or more bodies and 90% of women have 5 or more bodies? That's literally different.
CJ, because there's a difference between I have this realization that my standard for women and men, because I hold them the same, is extreme. I'm not going to utilize my standard for the general population because I understand the audience and most people's mindset. 5 bodies to a man on this panel is damn near a virgin. 10 bodies to men on this panel say that's still low. The moment we got the 20 plus, every man on the panel said, all right, that's a little much. What I have realized is when we start saying and we start utilizing a more common standard or ground, most women don't fall into that category. I don't think most women body count is in the 20s. I could be wrong, but there's a certain type of woman whose body count is in the 20s, and I don't think that's the average woman.
That's not what most men consider hoes, cheeky. They got to be in the 20s. Come on,
I asked for a number.
Qualifier
No,
on
CJ, CJ, I asked for a number just two or three shows ago.
I said 10 bodies.
Okay, now that's coming from somebody that has how many bodies?
Over 100.
Huh?
Over 100.
Okay, the reason why that won't make sense to me is because you're trying to put a standard on women that you don't have for yourself. So it doesn't
call me a hoe. I'm a hoe.
Right. So you should be. Are you okay with accepting a hoe too?
No, I just don't want to be with a hoe. But wait. So we gotta have it. No, wait, cheeky.
No. I'm not saying you have to have it anyway. I'm not saying that at all. I'm asking.
I'm have to have the same standards for the girl I'm with that she has for me. Women don't mind if you have a bunch of bodies. Men do. I don't want my girl with a bunch of fucking bodies. She don't care if I fuck over 300 girls. As long as I don't bring nothing to her.
And to me, I would, if she were my daughter, I would tell her you better have a standard for that as well, because that's out of the that's
most
crazy.
Women don't know. Most men, but you say most men don't know either to that point,
right? So that's the point, CJ. The point is, if we have these standards and we are holding them to ourselves first, it only makes sense to hold it to the next person.
Oh, cheeky, stop it. Women have standards that they don't hold themselves to. They want a man that make more money than them. They want a man that's stronger than them. They want a man that's stronger than them. So we can't say so. But the one thing that we want, I want a girl that has less bodies than me, or less than this amount of bodies. You're trying to say this is where the liberal part come in. This is where we need you back on the dark side.
No,
well, if you got a whole bunch of bodies, how could you want a girl that with a low body amount of bodies? Easy. We not the same. Me and the woman, we're not the same.
I agree. Now, you were saying, what do you say to the women that say, I want a man that makes more money than me? I would tell her, you need to make money too. You're not talking to the man. You're not talking to somebody who believes that a man should make all the money in the household. Or you can, this is a preference. But if a woman has that, my assumption would be one of two things. She's either very attractive or she's very educated.
Well, you arguing.
But if you,
But she said, I want a man that makes more money than me. You say you got to make more money, which is okay, but she still wants someone that makes more than her. I want somebody who makes have less bodies than me. Even if you say, well, you got to accept someone with 80 bodies, that's still less than me. So,
and I would still say that's illogical. What makes you think as a woman who doesn't make nearly as much money as the man you're looking for, that you're going to be in the same area as him.
You just put yourself in those areas. Men aren't saying, hey, Chiefy, that makes zero sense. Men don't look for women with money. Men look for beauty. So you put yourself in areas with men with money. They're not going to look for the other women with money. They're going to say, hey, those are some beautiful women. Let me go talk to them. And they're not going to, the first question is not going to say, it's not going to be, how much do you make? No, CJ, they're going to get to know that woman, and they don't give a. All right, go ahead.
I'm talking about a standard for yourself. It doesn't make sense to have a standard for somebody else that you don't have set for yourself. That's what I'm talking about. Of course, we live in a society where a man can make $1 million, and if the girl is pretty enough, she can be with that man. But if I hear a person speaking,
zero sense. Cheeky, me and my kids. I have a kid. I'm an adult. I can drink. My kid can't. I have a standard for him that I don't have for myself. That makes zero sense.
Wait. Would you drink in front of your kid though?
Yes, probably.
Okay. And would you be okay? Would you be okay with your kid being an adult drinking too?
Yes, when they become an adult.
Okay, so that makes sense. What if somebody says, I don't want to drink in front of my kids because I don't want my kids to be, I don't want them to see that image, and I don't want them to drink at all. They wouldn't show those things. They wouldn't do those things because they have a standard one for themselves. Like, for example, I don't smoke and I don't drink. I don't want my kids to smoke and drink. So guess what I'm not going to do? Or guess what I'm going to prevent from them to do? But that's my standard for me. The only reason why
that makes it.
The only reason why you won't let your kid drink is because they're not old enough. But if they were old enough, you wouldn't care. So, and the reason why you wouldn't care is because you drink yourself. You don't care either.
No. You got me on that. I should have used a better example.
It's all good. But all I'm saying is, CJ, I think it's only fair for somebody to have a standard for themselves first, and then ask for their partner to have a similar standard. I don't think it's fair to not have a standard for yourself first, but ask for the person you want to be involved with to have a standard that's higher than yours. That don't seem fair.
I agree with what you're saying on this, like on this face. Like it makes sense that if you're gonna have a standard for somebody else, have a standard for yourself. But you gotta take into the nuance of everything. Don't act like nuance doesn't matter. Men and women aren't the same. So if I have 100 bodies, it's different from her having 100 bodies. And you're not gonna tell me I gotta date somebody with 100 bodies because I have 100 bodies. That makes zero sense.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
A lot of bodies, even if it's just a lot of bodies. Because
CJ,
I didn't have a standard for that.
So let me
fucking know.
Let me ask you this, because this is what men ask women. If you got a lot of bodies and she a virgin and she says, why should I date you, CJ? What would you say to her?
If she got a low amount of bodies and I got a lot of bodies, why should she date me?
And she goes and she's saying, hey, there are plenty of men that don't have as many bodies as you do and haven't treated or had as much sex as you have. Why should I pick you as a man?
Do I fit the other qualities that you want in a man?
Okay, so why can't we?
So wait. The thing.
Wait. Why, okay, now you say the other qualities. Why can't you say that about women too? She's got however many bodies you think, but she's got very good qualities. Why can't you accept that?
Women don't have that many qualities that men like. Beauty and fucking.
Okay.
What are you talking about? That's the quality. Beauty and not a lot of bodies. And be fucking quiet. Shut the fuck up. Like, what are we talking about?
Right, and this is why this
women have a bunch of wait, Chica, let me finish. Women have a bunch of qualifications for men, and when a man fits most of the qualification, guess what he could do? Get sex from a lot of women, and the women understand this. That but women too for the most part. So if the man, okay, I agree with that. The opposite is true. The opposite is true. If a woman fits the qualifications, she could get a lot of sex from a lot of men as well.
So all I'm saying, my point is this.
But that's not a fact that women believe in. Women don't look for how many bodies a man got. Man, you stop trying to put the same qualifications on each person. We're different.
I'm not putting the same qualifications. I'm only saying I'm just saying if you're gonna hold someone to a standard, you should be, just generally speaking, right? Since y'all always wanted sex is not the same. You always want to make caveats to certain things, to the things y'all fucking like, which is fine. Because that's what humans do, make the situation fit what's best for them. But if you have a standard for a woman or anybody, fuck it. Woman, child, if you have a standard for your children, you should match that standard first, because it doesn't make sense to be the parent or the person that says y'all need to do this. Y'all need to do this, and you're not the person to do it at all.
Can I want my kid to be a doctor and not be a doctor?
No, because if it's different. If you want them to have a certain profession, I wouldn't recommend that. But if you say I want my kid to be educated, or I want my kid to be a continual learner, regardless, then that's different. But if you're saying I want them to have
whatever, continual learning, we'll put it there. But I'm not educated.
And you're not, well then no, it's gonna be hard. Yeah, I don't it's gonna be very hard for you. But I
can want it though. But can I want it? Are you saying I can't want this for my kid?
Look, you can want whatever you want.
I can't set standards for my kid that I don't fit. This is the argument.
I'm not saying you can't. My recommendation is that you do. Because if it's coming from somebody that's practicing what they preach, it's got a lot more impact than somebody who doesn't. For example, if a man tell his son,
I agree with this, but women don't give a fuck about how many bodies you got as a man, cheeky.
You cannot be a cheater, son. You cannot be a drug addict, but you do coke and crack in front of him. He's not gonna respect you. He's not gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna take the words of this man very seriously, and I'm gonna respect his character and who he is. If you think children or people aren't able to perceive what's going on and perceive the thing, this is one of the many things that kids complain about, especially when we get older. Every single time we used to go, no. Let me finish the phrase. Do as I say, not as I do. That pissed everybody off. You want to know why? Because it looks stupid and it is very hypocritical. And it doesn't make sense.
Cheeky, let me say, I agree with you more than I disagree. I agree that you shouldn't be a hypocrite trying to tell somebody what to do. But to this body thing, women don't give a fuck how many bodies a man got, but we care about how many bodies a woman got. So don't try to tell me, and anybody else can hop in whenever y'all feel like it. My boy, Mr. 7, hop in whenever you please. Pause. But we don't try to tell us that we can't have a standard that's different from their standard. Don't try to tell me that we can't have different standards in each other. And I'm not, because I have a high body count, I can't tell my woman, hey, I want you to have under a certain amount of body count. I can do this.
CJ, I'm not disagreeing. We're in agreement. I'm not trying to make people change their standard. I'm just telling you it doesn't make any logical sense. There's no logic behind the standard. The only thing that exists beyond the standard.
No, but it is logic. Hold on, wait. It's logic. Go ahead. Let me hear your logic first. Go ahead.
Are promiscuous people more prone to sexual transmitted diseases?
Yes.
You say yes? Okay. Does that matter whether the gender, or is that just generally speaking?
I think it matters the gender. Aren't females more prone to catching diseases than men?
I don't know. Maybe I got to look that up. I don't think that's the case, or I could be. I don't know. So
I might be wrong too, though.
We got to look at my ass. I'm not gonna say that. But what I'm saying is, if somebody is contaminated with a particular disease, promiscuity from both sides is just not safe.
I agree.
That's logical. Me saying I can be promiscuous and be okay, and she can be promiscuous and be okay. It's not going to make any logical sense because y'all both promiscuous.
Oh my God, man. I'm not about to keep arguing this.
You don't have to. I'm just saying, look, you can have whatever standard you want. All I'm saying is your standards, by all means, you can have them. To me, they're just not going to make logical sense. And to other people, they're not. But who cares what I think? It's your standard. It's not mine.
For the people, man. Hey, Mr. Williams and Sherelle and Mr. 7. Who more right in this argument right here, man?
Cheeky.
Y'all.
Mr. Williams, who you got?
I'm speechless, man, but I gotta go majority with Cheeky though.
Oh my God, Mr. 7.
I mean, I'm not taking nothing away from a little bit of what you've been saying, CJ, but then you just go extreme, man.
All right, cool. Mr. 7, what you got, man? Who you got?
You started the show out real smooth, bro.
Yeah, I plead the fifth.
I'm gonna take that as a win for me. So I got
real smooth, CJ, and now you just.
That's a dub, CJ. You got your dub.
I got one. All right, you won that one. But I think I'm right, brother.
You lost the wing, man. You lost the wing.
Bro,
okay. So I guess to go back to the topic of women not or can't be men's peace. I just don't know if it's natural. I don't know if the dynamic between men and women is just naturally peaceful.
I disagree, man. I disagree with that because they are natural.
Okay. You said what now?
I disagree with that because they're natural nurturers.
That's not true. We already figured that that's not true.
I mean, yes, it is. Just look at when
they naturally selfish.
Motherhood, man. Like
motherhood is at its all-time worst. These women don't even want to be mothers.
Well, let me ask you this.
They
Mr.
naturally.
Williams. Go ahead. Do you can you think? What is it that makes a man's life difficult? Is it problems and finding solutions to those problems, or is those problems just normally being solved that brings him more stress?
I think it's when we put too much on ourselves. I think it's because we're solution based and we try to think as logical as we can. But I think it's when we you put that extra on us. And then when you take on more and more and more, it drains you. And then we don't give ourselves the outlet to let that go. And that tends to hurt us in the long run.
Okay, so let me ask you this: do you think work is stressful because work presents a company's problems to you as an employee, and it's your job to solve them? Or do you think work is stressful? Just like, why do you think work is stressful?
I think work is more stressful when you're working with idiots. I think that's
why is it more stressful when you're working with idiots?
Because you can have some incompetent ass people working for you, or they done put more pressure on you. You're getting pressured by the CEOs or what have you because they just don't get it, and you're the only one doing it. So now you're taking it all on.
Okay.
And that tends to be, more responsibility. And sometimes I think us as men, when is it enough responsibility?
Okay. So I would agree there. I think work is stressful because, of course, it depends on your job.
Yeah.
But work is stressful because it's asking you for at least 8 hours a day.
Yes.
To find solutions to problems that are being presented. And that's very stressful. It takes a lot of brain power, and you're expected to maintain an image, right? If you work service, you got to be cordial, courteous, all of that. And you're right. Incompetence brings more complication and more problems.
Yes.
So, have you ever met a woman that didn't introduce more problems?
You said that produce more problems?
That introduce more problems.
Hell yeah. Shit.
You've met women that don't introduce more problems?
No, he's saying they introduce more problems.
I'm saying my last relationship, that was nothing but problems.
Right. So
chaos.
I think
that was just chaos after chaos.
Right. Okay. So who do you think is more in a relationship? Who do you think is more who's more
problematic?
Who's more likely to introduce the problems that they're having to one another? A man to his girl, to his wife, or a girl, whatever, or a girl to the guy?
I would have to say the girl to us.
Yeah, right. And right. And when that happens, what is it that women complain about men not being able to do? Not being able to just hear it and let them rant. Right.
Typically, well, of course, but I think typically us giving them the time that they want.
Okay, sure.
They want us to work and they want us to provide and all of that, but then they'll complain at the same time when we're doing that. I think that's more or less especially when they're missing us. That's why I say the nurturing part, when they really want us, I know they're complicated, but when I feel like when they want us, that's what drives them even more crazier. Because they want us to work. They want us to provide everything for them. But then at the same time, they love us that much because they're missing us. It's just sometimes they don't know just how to say, baby, I miss you, and be peaceful with it. They got to
sound like peace to us. Don't sound like peace to me, Chief.
Like Mr. Williams, when I'm listening to what you said, that sounds stressful because they don't know how to articulate or how to communicate what it is that they're trying to do. They just know they're trying to do something. And in the process of them not knowing how to articulate or communicate clear to us what it is they're trying to do, it produces a lot of stress, right? I don't think women can be men's peace because that's just not in their nature, right? I've seen Crimson Cure come up here and say women's nature is chaotic.
Yeah.
I've never been in a situation where chaos and peace exist or coincide at the same time. I'm not saying that it can't, and maybe there's something that maybe she can explain because she's a feminist coach. Maybe she has an understanding of femininity and all that I just don't, and I'm willing to learn.
Well,
but those words, chaos, chaos and peace don't go together. They're antonyms.
It might be.
So I don't even think women can be peaceful because I don't even know if they're at peace with themselves half the time. I feel like they always going through something, whether it be emotionally, whether it be mentally, something's always going on. It's my period. It's my hormones. I don't know how I feel. I want to communicate that I really like you a lot, and I just don't know how to do it. So now I'm yelling. Maybe I'm not yelling. I'm trying to say,
women hate the fact that they like you sometimes. I hate the fact that I like you so much. Women hate the fact that they like you. Shit is crazy. They never at 100%. To Chiqui's point,
but look,
they never at a fucking 100.
If you're in your relationship, especially if you have kids and things of that nature, I feel as though as long as the pieces outweighing her small bit of chaos, you're fine, because you're not gonna always get along anyway. That's just not. You don't get along with your damn parents. You know, you can't expect to like each other 365 days a year. It doesn't work that way. Hell, you don't like your parents 365 days a year. You love them.
Sure.
Our parents are more peaceful than the woman that we with. And we don't even...
Your nerves regardless. Your kids are going to get on your goddamn nerves. They came from you. I mean,
which is why I don't want kids. Look, you keep... All right, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. Y'all keep laying out the reasons why I don't want any of these things, or at least I haven't found any of these things to be that attractive. Like when you tell me kids get on your nerve, I was a kid and I know it, and I remember pissing my dad off. I don't want that for me. I fuck with Pops a lot. You know, that's the homie. He done taught me a lot. I would never want to do that to myself. It's not my fault he nutted him on. He decided to do this. I'm smart. He taught me better.
You gotta have kids.
Look at his face. Every time him up here, he's drinking something. He got 7 kids. Come on. And he got a wife. He got 7 kids and a wife.
Always talk about
and 3 pit bulls and Remy Ma. Look at his life. And guess what he do to relax? Beat people up. He's a murderer.
Yo, that's nasty work.
Look at this. Is this your life? Are you not entertained? Are you a gladiator? What is wrong?
Hey, y'all not at peace at all, man. All right, I got. Hey, Cheeky, the chat said I whipped your ass. Huh? You gotta watch it, man.
You
gotta watch it.
He whooped my ass. He whooped my ass, bro. None of that shit mattered to me.
Don't matter to me that much either, motherfucker.
I get it's always good back and forth with me and you, dog. I understand. I already know. It's good shit.
All right,
yeah. All right. Peace. She gotta be at peace to be peaceful. That's for damn sure. I think, you know what? I just had an epiphany. We have a lot of requests, right? But oftentimes the person has to be good on the request you're making to be able to help you. And I think we all just wrestling with so much shit, so much outside influence, inside influence. You know, you wrestling with the causation for why you are how you are. Like Lex was saying, you go back to the roots, and then we expect, or we are asking for things that the person, I think, to a lot of points, doesn't have themselves. And I think it manifests in behavior. There was we was sparring on Thursday. It was like the young boys, right? And so one of the young boys, he always going too hard when we spar. You know, he always punching like, you know, like he don't know nobody. So as a new kid, he was punching hard too. So I had him go in. And the kid that's always punching hard got dropped with a body shot, you know? And he like, oh, I'm like, you better take a knee. And the other guy looking at me. And I'm like, nah, whoop his ass until he take a knee. You got to go down. That's how this works, you know? And then he got up and they was damn near wrestling, right? And they like, coach, everybody looking at me. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna say I probably would have done the same thing. So I just let him go at it, like fuck it. You know what I mean? Because I knew I would have done it, you see? So I couldn't break it up because I'm like, I would have been thrown for the fences too, you know? But I'm supposed to break it up. And then I'm supposed to say shit like this, Mr. Williams, you can't do that. But I would have did this shit though.
Come on. Like, come on.
Yeah. So just in the point where I'm asking for shit that I can't give. You know what I mean? Almost, or vice versa type shit.
Right.
So,
And I think that's unfair. Like, and I understand like women or people may have this perception of me online, but generally speaking, every woman that's just been around me, shit is peaceful. There's no drama. I look out for them, I take care of them, I make sure they're straight. If I can't get that in return, that's unfair to me. It's not because I'm always in some shit, I'm always doing some shit to them or to her or whatever. I'm always complaining, I'm always something. That's not the case with me. I'm chilling. I'm very happy. I'm very quiet. I do productive things with my friends. We try to build things. We try to do things. The only thing that I'm asking for in return, and I think most men, if they are providing that thing, is, yo, don't bring extra problems. But that's the problem. You can't ask a human being not to bring extra problems because life is a big problem. So I just think it's unfair to be like, yeah, be my piece. Bro, she probably never going to be that. And
so
the only thing you ask is for her to separate. not like whatever, but
yeah, but break up, right? Here's the other thing, Cheek, right? Is it a problem or is it and I'm gonna use this word, which is a trigger word now, innate nature, innate and nature in the same sentence. That is almost like a double negative.
Double down.
Of the woman, but we look at it as a problem where it may just be an expectation. Like if we change our outlook and expectation, does it change how we view how she acts? I'm not talking about the egregious shit, but the things that we be like, man, this shit is fucking killing me. Is it just kind of how they operate and they trying to convey a message, but they don't do a good job of it? Like it's annoying as shit when they put their feet under you, right? Or you know what I mean? Like they like get all in your space. Or do she want to be close to you? If you look at it, she want to be close to you. Does it change the rhythm?
it does. It does. It does a lot, which is why like them learning how to communicate that or learning, which is why I think they say communication is like the biggest thing in relationships. Just let me know what's going on. Because if I'm chilling and then I feel cold feet on my back, that's discomfort. Why are you doing that? I just want to message you. Oh, okay. Well then, I can get past that. But if you go, I don't know. Now I'm pissed off. Why are you doing this? But if you could just say, look, I just want to touch you. Oh shit. What else you want to touch? What else you want to do? We can be playful now.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, man, we just gotta be more attentive, man. And when you set a standard, just go follow that. But we have to be attentive. Like we gotta pay attention when our women, if we really understand them, and then they understand us as well, I think that's the biggest piece you can have. Because if she understands you, she knows when you had it rough, when you walking through that door. So that's when she'll, she won't try to bombard you as much, even though she misses you and the kids miss you. So I think it just, it can be a double-edged sword. But if you have that one that's equally yoked, and she knows that because y'all built that foundation, I think that's where it pretty much starts. And like Ham said, a big ass, man. Hey, you may pick wrong. That's all I can tell you. Pretty ass, big ass, hey. We have to do better discernment, use better discernment when we're picking our mates, man.
My bad. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think being peace or someone being at peace that's a lot to ask for. Now being an asset is different. I don't even ask for peace no more. Just be an asset, bro. Don't be a negative. At this point, I've learned not to ask so much from women, and that sounds bad, but it's just the truth.
Yeah, yeah. I think we talked about this. Did he freeze? I think we talked about this, but I'm not looking for equality, but just equitable return that makes the most sense. And I think we talked about that previously. Crimson said something interesting in the chat, and I think we should take heed to this, because the person who, let's say, does the most egregious act, right, is often implicated, and I understand it. So, like, if a motherfucker say, oh, he cheated, right? But there's a whole lot of shit, like Lex was saying, causation of things. Now people need to exude self-control, but what is the reasons? And so I'm saying that to say, because Crimson said it, do you want your woman to settle her own issues? Have other people help her settle those issues? Or do you want to be the person that helps her settle those issues? I think most people be like, you're damn right, it should be me. So take that logic and apply it to the entire relationship. If your person got to go outside for something that you could potentially help them with, what happens next? It could be physical, mental, spiritual, all of that. So I'm just wondering, if you can't help them, cool. Go to somebody who knows, But if you don't help them, or you don't want to help them, or you don't try to help them, people discern that too. And then when they find another source, you be mad about what that source actually start helping them with, if you catch my drift. I don't know, man. I just
My whole thing is it like really just a cliche saying of the whole process of be his peace or be my peace? It's the same way, like, it shouldn't be a woman's expectation for a man to maintain their happiness. At some level, you have to have peace within yourself. The real issue is don't disturb my peace. So if I'm coming here with peace, but if you avoid a peace, nobody's gonna give you that. The real conversation is don't disturb my peace. Don't go out your way to disrupt what I already have going. If I have a level set of peace, be able to, if you can't add to it, don't take from it. Just the same way, but it's gonna be, she can't just jump up and down and just hope she can do whatever to give you peace if you don't have it. The same way if women are not happy with themselves, she's gonna become insatiable if you trying to always think, I gotta hurry up and do this, get her flowers, this, and this. If she's miserable, then she's miserable. You can't give her happiness. You can't give her peace. She has to internally fight that battle within herself. You can't give her that. You gotta be that yourself. So sometimes you get in with a woman, she's not even peaceful, she's not even happy, she's miserable, and then you're expecting a miserable ass person to give you peace. How is that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what we was expounding on. But Sherelle, I guess this one thing, right? And I hear it loud and clear. I also think that it might be a slight issue. When you say, yo, just don't take away from my peace, right? I catch your drift, but that sounds like a bare minimum standpoint. Like if I'm married to you, and as long as you don't take away my peace, we good money. I'm thinking you should add to all things good. All, and I get it, all don't mean all. But I'm just, you see what I'm saying? Like it's just like, all right, just don't come in here while I'm watching.
But see, because that's what a complaint
wait,
is coming
watch this. Yeah, cheekbone. Don't come in here while I'm watching the game, right? Don't disturb me, right? Or bring me popcorn while I'm watching the game. Now you done fucking exponentially increase my shit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm bugging, but I'm just thinking. I'm saying feel, right?
But,
I'm saying feel.
because I'm gonna tell you what the problem with adding to it, right? Because nobody's complaining about you if you don't disrupt the peace. That's where the complaints coming from, is when you disturbing the peace, right? Because then she's gonna bring popcorn, then she's gonna want to watch the game, which she's not watching the game.
That's the balance, though. Like
then she's gonna start scrolling through her phone and trying to show you her shit on her phone. Oh, watch this meme, and you trying to watch the game. Now you hurt her feelings because you say, I don't want to see that shit.
Or
don't
Rel,
go.
Rel.
That hole is gonna go down.
Nah. Or I changed my perspective. She made the effort sitting here. I know her $6 ass don't want to watch football.
Right.
So I know she's scrolling on Instagram, but at least she trying to make the effort.
Yeah.
What? But y'all always tell on yourself, Sherelle. Every time a good play, what happened? Nigga, you know what a touchdown
That's what I'm
is.
saying. Because that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying if I change my perspective,
you
that's
watching
all
the
I'm
game,
saying.
you should just leave your ass alone. Let him watch the game.
But I'm saying that's the bare minimum. That's all I'm saying.
But I'm telling you, she gonna come. You gonna miss the touchdown. Watching somebody paint their nails on Instagram.
Pay attention. Hold on, Sherelle.
Get that phone on my fucking face. Cause you mad now. You know
Nah. It's just gotta be I'm just saying there's a good happy medium there. Now, cause think about this, right? Like my wife went to, it was for something she was celebrating. I forget what it was, right? And so she was going, she was good, right? And it was like one of her friends planned it. Something happened. But anyway, I sent like $100 for the first round of shots or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It just add just a little. They was already gonna have fun. I was already out the way. I already had the kids. You know what I mean? But I'm like, here, first round on, whatever. Like little shit go a long way when you just add into somebody. You know what I mean? $100 is too much though. I think somebody owe me some money now that I think about it.
you rich, nigga. Damn. Oh, that's kind of stunned.
I got a man kid. I ain't shit.
I sent her $100. I sent
man, he got seven kids.
Exactly. Thank you, Cheek.
I bought a $10,000 coat rack.
What your taxes be looking like?
That's one thing they slightly good for. But nah, I catch your drift though. I think the safest bet really is do what you said, right? Just don't kill my vibes, But I'm just thinking that little bit go a long way. That popcorn.
Because some stuff is just for you. Like,
hold on, goddammit. I like my popcorn slightly burnt. So then when she coming in with a slightly burnt popcorn, I'm like, damn, you was Smitty, you know the vibe. Now she really thinking of me. Cause nobody like it like that but me. The kids think it's chocolate. So I don't know.
But
man.
I get it because the ones that's not burnt, they really done.
Yeah. So you got to sacrifice the bottom of the bag. You know what I'm saying?
It's like when you burn your meat, like when you flipping turkey to make a turkey sandwich.
Holy shit.
Y'all gotta be.
We don't eat spam no more, Sherelle. We grown. You see what I'm saying?
I never ate spam in my life.
Nigga, please. You just described spam.
I said turkey.
No, that's not what you said. Flip it and all that. You meant spam. I know we heard you say turkey. Not the little thin ones. No.
No, I'll get my slice from the down. No.
You eat potted meat. You eat potted meat too, huh?
I ate potted meat before, yeah. But I ain't never had spam.
If you had potted meat, you had spam.
I'm from the ghetto, homie. I was raised on bread and bologna.
I like bologna.
Yeah.
You like bologna?
Mm-hmm.
Man in the air fryer.
Bologna?
No, they make beef bologna.
Okay.
Yeah, I like bologna, man. Damn. Perfect. I don't know, man. It's interesting, man. It's interesting. I think I like walking down the mental health stuff a little bit. I think the conversations have been good in terms of people giving what a lot is being said consideration. It might be platitudes, easier said than done, but nevertheless, the conversation has to happen. And even if one person learned, then that means we improve, Yeah. So it's interesting, man. What you think, Cheek? Any final thoughts, Playboy? Perfect. You got your shit ready for DC?
What I gotta get ready?
I don't know. You usually gotta bring a lot of stuff.
Typically, yeah, I do. So it's they in use. So yeah, I should be good to go. But I don't know. My last words is I think I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, and it could change. But I'm just expecting a lot less from women. I don't mean that the way it sounds, like, because it sounds very condescending, but it's not the intent. What I'm saying is, like, I have high expectations. I think of myself and from others, and I've learned to really lower them. First it started with sexual encounters, but now it's emotionally and being able to communicate. I'm starting to realize it's not that they just don't know how they're trying to learn how to do it, especially around my age or younger. Like by the time you get to 40, if you don't know how to do it, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. Like I'm not 40 yet, so I can't really say anything about it. Be like, you should be, because I have no clue. I'm not 40. It'll take me another 10 years technically, or 11. So maybe 11 years from now, I'm like, well, we 40 now. How you not? But right now, it's more like, look, you 28, 25, you learning how to communicate how you feel because you really don't know. Go to therapy too, please. I know you're supposed to help, but don't expect me to be a therapist, bro. That's extra work. Like, that's heavy. Okay, so go get that insurance and make sure you invest in your 401k now.
That's a fact. Lex, what up?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, man. Why you snatch your shit off like that?
You want me to do it over? You do it like this.
Just say we can still hear you the same.
No, because I'm here with y'all, and then that's when I'm doing my job.
I got you.
But this is a good conversation. I know I didn't add much, but it was good to hear another point of view. And I feel like the flow of the conversation went well. It wasn't no F you, what, you know, and talk to your mama type. It seemed to flow really well. So I'm glad to hear a lot of the voices that were speaking. Even CJ earlier, I don't know if he was cracking up. He had a moment. I was like, oh, this is big. Like, so great conversation, great show as always.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Williams.
Great show. Everybody on the panel, everybody who came up in the chat. Yeah, man, just try to focus on mental health, your emotional health. You know, find something positive that's an outlet, something that you love to do. You know, sometimes we all can take on a lot of burden instead of just being out here. And don't forget, man, keep your faith. You know, pray for those that you love, and you know, just keep pushing, man. I know it's not easy. Life's not easy. They said it's not gonna be easy, but you know, just keep pushing, man, and just pray for everybody, man.
That's a fact. Smitty. Perfect. Any final thoughts?
You know, shoot, I appreciate you allowing me to come up, hang out with you guys for a bit. Appreciate everything I learned. This discussion by itself was therapeutic, and it very much so was, you know, it was eye-opening. I will say this, to land it, I find it fascinating how there were many more women who initially knew it was Men's Mental Health Month before we did. Like, that part tripped me out. I think I had about 3 chicks hit me up to tell me happy something Men's Mental Health Month, and I said it is. So I didn't even know. So this is something that I definitely do appreciate. Respect to you. I digress. My mic is muted.
No doubt. Yeah, man. Getting in tune, right, is key for sure. But now once you in tune, you stay there, you know. Riley.
Good show. Thank everybody for coming up today. Thank you, HAMP. Thank you, Tiki. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, Mr. Seven. I don't think that anybody can be anybody's peace or anybody's happiness. I do think that women provide pussyflation. Men overlook a lot of stuff because y'all want sex, and that leaves y'all with lack of leverage. So as long as you don't have the leverage, the behavior is not going to change. So I guess we're going to be warring on. But if anybody that's trying to actually be a functioning, healthy adult, take key notes, try to do better.
Yeah, man. mental health is something we want to continue to assess and discuss. Give it more credence. Me especially, because I'm pretty antiquated in a lot of this thought in terms of therapy and etc. But I continue to learn as I continue to open to listening to it. So I think it's awesome, and I think Sherelle is right. You can't be anybody's piece, but you can certainly be a force multiplier. And so I think that that's what we should be striving to be for the person and people that we love. Be a force multiplier. Just like if you call me, I'm ready to ride. You gotta call me. I gotta be ready to listen too. We can't just do the shit that's comfortable for you. So.
Oh, I wanted to add something.
God damn, man.
Can I add something?
Don't listen. No, you just had a final thought.
If you don't let me talk, I ain't gonna let you talk.
You cross-eyed though.
Only on Wednesdays.
All right, let me read these and you go. TJ with the $5 says, great show. Cheeky said he learned to not ask much from women. Ellipsis. Sound like his list is getting just as small as he said mine is. Welcome to the dark side. Hang on. Let you lay that down. Rock with it $10. I think the quote unquote peace is an ecosystem that is established and sustained by the two that form the union. So she's not your piece, but she is the main collaborator in making it manifest. Okay, so I think we kind of agree. I think we do agree, actually. Callie Bad with the $2 says, we solve our own problems. That's independent, though. I don't know what it is. You replying to somebody? Oh, it was you replying to something? I don't have the context because I had walked off for a little minute. Kasim was popping with a member for 18 months. He said, men should build their endurance in problem solving and emotional intelligence. This will help him in all areas of his life. Get your lungs up. I think you're right. And then if I added old nigga behind it, that would make the most sense. Right? We taught to endure. Right? Endurance is what we do. We take pride in that. And we also be dying 10 years earlier than them too, though. Right? So we get it. We push through. No question. Right? But I guess I'm just wondering, do we need to take more time or be mindful? Right? Does an emotional intelligence need to apply to men as well? Or do we always tell each other, get it up, shake it off, shut the fuck up and stop crying? Or do we say, yo, I've been there before. I know where you're coming from. Here's the progression. So I get it. Endurance is one of the main words in my just for sake of argument, my belief system. Endurance is everything. But it come with repercussions. That's for damn sure. Black Dawn with the $5 says, CJ, I have over 100 bodies. Ellipsis. Why? DC Slimmer does CJ girl act like the woman he speaks of? He spoke on it a few times. HQ with the $5 says, with logic like CJ, no wonder we get in a rising rate of the least. Come on, HQ. Aaron with the $2. Eventually, you all will agree with me, Sith Lord. What is that? They said that to Cheeky too. What's the Sith thing?
That's a Star Wars reference.
Darth Vader, man. That's Darth Vader.
Yeah, that's Anakin. Or technically, that's Darth Vader. Oh, when you say y'all get it, but I don't know why they want me to be.
We know too.
Oh, okay. I couldn't get into that shit, man. When they had the little green nigga, he talked backwards. He athletic as shit. He old.
Yoda. Yeah.
He can do it, bro. He too athletic. HQ with the $2 says, Cheeky, please explain reality to goofy niggas like CJ. Damn. Like Dawn with a $5 says, Callie Beth, CJ wants to be a woman that has. Come on, man.
CJ wants to be with a. That's the WA stand for.
Oh, okay. I don't even know. Reaper Red with the $5 says, Cheeky gonna realize all. Did I read this one? Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, man.
Y'all help me with the Cisco. What's the Cisco thing?
It was Brenda, Letitia, Linda.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So yeah, he just what these really want from a nigga. That's what they say. You're gonna be in the street singing.
I thought that wasn't Cisco. That was DMX, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he's telling what they want from me. Yeah, he the singing. Yeah, I can't sing, but that
All
you need is some rain, nigga. You on point. What's your last point, Sherelle? Sherelle. Oh, she on the phone. All right. Nah, we good. We save it. Yeah, man. Hey, jump in the Discord. You want to finish the conversation? I will see y'all this evening with the ladies as we continue to mine through these particular topics. We got a hell of a topic tomorrow night for sure. Because Sean Antonio tried to start a riot. So we're gonna see you
the show.
at the end of the show. The last possible minute. You know what I'm saying? So it should be good, man. My bad, man. I guess they say Yoda cool. I don't know, man. I couldn't get into it, man. You know? But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. See y'all tonight. Jump in the Discord. Be safe and do the right thing, man. Get your tickets to DC. DC is it, bro. It's gonna be popping. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend. And we out.